Hello there, I'm MC Toon, the worst rapper in the world. How are you doing today? It's good to have you. It is a little early. This is a 3 p.m. for me. A lot of the time, if I have a guest from England, I'll go 4 p.m., which is 10 for them. But we have the Maine Surveyor who has just a certain amount of time, and so he's setting up to do it now, and he had to go earlier. So we do not yet have anybody connected. Bev is currently trying to connect, and let's see, I think he's on. So Bev, can you hear me? I don't hear back from Bev.
Hey, can you hear?
There we go.
What's going on there?
We've got you. I can hear you. But I don't know about Cleary or the Maine Surveyor. So we will. You can talk as you want, Bev. They can hear you. But so I'll cover a couple things. I saw just yesterday. I went and saw Charlie Duke speak, and that was very exciting. Charlie Duke was the 10th man on the moon. He he went in April of 1972. I got this photograph here that I printed out. It was a scan of the original that's housed in Houston, and then I printed it. I cropped it. It was larger. I wanted him a little more towards the center. So there you go. Can you see? He signed it even. It's not in focus there. A little bit of focus. You can even see the reflection of the chat going there, people. Say hi to yourselves. You can see the chat. So there you go. That was cool. He is quite a good speaker. It was a lot of fun. I had lunch with him on Sunday even. So yes. So people asking, Sir Pickapup the Benevolent, was Duke the guy speaking to the Apollo 11 crew for the moon landings? Yes, he was Capcom for Apollo 11. So very exciting. He said on the way back, shortly after they headed back from the moon, they had to go outside and get like the film, and there was some experiments that were on the outside that they needed to bring on the inside. So the guy who Young, he went down to the surface with Young, but he stayed orbiting with, who cares? He didn't go on the moon. I forgot his name, the third guy. But he had to go out and get that. And so Charlie Duke was the one that was like outside in the hatch, making sure that all the cables and wires and umbilical cord basically did not get hung up. And he looked over and he saw the Earth. And it was because of the time and the angle and everything, just saw a sliver of the Earth. And he turned around and they're still close to the moon. He's like, the moon was just huge. It's pretty cool. So that's exciting, isn't it, Bev?
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to get this Zoom thing sorted out.
Oh.
But it's a bit of a silly thing, isn't it? How'd you get your picture on in your OBS? I mean, what?
I just do a screen capture.
Do you do this all the time?
Yes. I like Zoom. Yep.
We're trying to swap over to Discord, right? It's much easier on Discord.
Oh, I find it much easier on here. So it's maybe part of experience. I've dealt with
used this Zoom thing before. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
Yep. So you can. I don't know. I don't know how to do screen capture on Discord, but you've done that, so I suppose somehow it should be easy enough to figure out somehow. So I see Cleary is saying it's not working on his phone. Are you on your phone, Bev, or you're on a desktop?
Okay. On PC.
Okay. And we've got the Maine Surveyor he had a limited time, and so he's I think currently trying to come in. He let's see if he responded to me. He has just a certain amount of time. Like it's 4 p.m. for him, and you can't do surveying from home, Bev, so he
does what?
You can't do surveying work from home. You actually have to go out to the field. I can write software from home. So
is that what he does?
Bev, you know what he does.
I don't know.
I want to focus. There we go. Bev, you know he is a licensed geodetic surveyor in the state
No, I
of
don't.
Maine. So
No, I don't.
there you go.
You've just said that to me. He's never said that.
Oh, Bev, you're cute.
Sorry?
I said you're cute. I mean, I don't mean you're
Why?
cute, right? But, you're cute.
Well, do you not think he's never said that? He's never said that,
He's
Is
never
it
said that
licensed
he's a
geodetic
licensed
surveyor. Yeah, no, he's never said he said.
No, he's not a geodesic. He's a geodetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. What's the difference?
Geodetic is a word. Geodesic is not what.
Yeah, okay. What's the difference between that and a normal surveyor?
That is it. My goodness, my focus keeps going out. That is a normal surveyor. A geodetic surveyor is a normal surveyor. There is a subset of geodetic surveying that they call planar surveying, which they can't do, the geodetic parts of it because they're not qualified and trained.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Please? Yeah.
The difference between a planar surveyor and a geodetic surveyor. So a planar surveyor can only work in a certain within a certain range because it is if you get into a larger area, you have to take into account the curvature of the Earth. So
What's that area?
I don't know offhand, but when
I heard
the Maine surveyor
it was 100 square miles that planar surveyors do, and then anything over that is your other type of surveyors, right?
Yeah, it requires geodetic surveyors if you're over that amount.
Over 100.
But it
So
depends.
Up to 100 square miles, that would be planar surveying, right?
Yeah, so it also depends on the margin of error necessary, right? So I suppose if they need a tighter margin of error, then you would not be able to do planar surveying up to 100 square miles. It'd be smaller depending on the needs.
Or you could just do geodetic surveying all the time, then save yourself that trouble.
Oh, so there's no need for planar surveyors then?
No, you don't have to.
Is that what you just said?
You could save yourself the trouble of having to convert back and forth, worry about, do I do plane surveying here or do I do geodetic surveying here? Just do geodetic principles all the time and save yourself the problem.
So there is definitely a difference between these surveyors then, right?
Yes.
So what sort of tools would you say a geodetic surveyor plays or uses instead of a normal, just an average surveyor?
I already said, Bev, a normal surveyor is a geodetic surveyor.
Okay. So an auto level then, what sort of tool would that be?
It's an auto level.
Which type of surveyor would use an auto level?
Any surveyor can use an auto level.
Okay, because it establishes a horizontal plane of reference, right?
It establishes a horizontal plane that you would make measurements from, and then you make curvature corrections as you need to.
Curvature corrections within the horizontal plane?
Curvature corrections to your measurements after the fact.
You make curvature corrections to your measurements?
Yes.
Oh. You not just sort of measure what you measure when you look through the scope?
You measure what you measure, you write that down, and then you apply corrections as necessary.
Okay, so when is it necessary for you to apply corrections? Because I've never heard of that.
Well, you can look at the National
why.
Geodetic Surveyor. You can look at the National Geodetic Survey manual on geodetic leveling. It will tell you.
Okay, can you not tell us?
I'm sorry?
Can you not tell us
What is it you want me to tell you?
when the corrections have to be applied? Because we've got a test, right? Is that what we're talking over tonight?
Yeah. Go back to your question.
Don't
Test,
right?
Wait. Go back to your first question. Then don't segue to the other topic before he gets a chance to answer, though. Right.
Right.
Let him answer. Yeah.
So, Bev, let's get the wordiness out of there. What is it you're asking me?
Which one? McToon's sort of just saying with some other question. We were just talking, weren't we?
Before we get to your test, what do you want to ask?
I don't want to ask you anything. We were here to talk about the test, right?
No.
Or were we doing? We're just having a little chit chat. What are we here for, McToons, please? I know we've been very vague. Like you
we
talked
didn't
to Cleary earlier, and then we've been asking what we were meant to be doing here tonight, and you've not said anything. You've given us a link to this Zoom thing. I've clicked it, and now I'm here.
Excellent. Good job.
Right. So what's the format that we're going to be going over tonight?
It's an open format, but I do have a couple things maybe that we could cover kind of in a little structure that might be kind of fun. So I don't know what Cleary's up to. He says that he's not having luck getting it on his phone. So I don't know. Maybe he needs to open some high IQ tabs. What do you think? I could send him some tabs.
You could send him some tabs.
I don't even know where he lives. He's in the U.S., I think. Let's go with that. So, all right. So I think the question Bev was asking was when or how do you apply curvature corrections when you're in the process of doing surveying work?
When you cover a certain distance, you need to start applying curvature corrections if to meet certain accuracy requirements for whatever the project might be.
So can you give an example of what a requirement might be, and then how you'd and what distance might be the right?
Well, actually, plane surveyors do account for curvature anyway in their elevations. So you always need to apply curvature corrections to your elevations. When you're using your theodolite or your total station and you're measuring those distances, you need to apply the 8 inches times the mile squared elevation correction. It's expressed a bit differently for surveying because you understand 8 inches times the mile square. We're mixing units there. We've got to have everything in the same units. So the correction becomes 0.024 times feet expressed in thousands. So a mile would be 5.28. And that's squared.
Okay, so that would be the curvature for a certain point, right? Of a imagined radius, right?
It's not imagined.
Right, so but there's many, isn't there?
Many what?
Different radiuses or radii. I don't know what you call it.
Right. So plural of radius is radii, but I'm not gonna punish you for saying radiuses.
You do have many, right?
So
on your model.
The Earth is not a perfect sphere.
Yep.
It is spherical.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes called an ellipsoid in shape. And the 8 inches times the mile squared is plenty accurate enough for point to point of a control network.
Okay, so what is that 8 inches per mile squared then?
It's an elevation correction for curvature.
Okay, and that is everywhere?
In every direction.
Okay. So you saying when they have a tool like an auto level that establishes a horizontal, you say you need to establish a curvature correction, you say?
So in auto level, so differential leveling is a little bit different than trig leveling. So trig leveling is what you're doing with a theodolite or a total station. With differential leveling through an auto level, generally speaking, if you keep your foresights and backsights equal in distance, you can get away with ignoring curvature correction over a short distance, but you should apply it when you're getting into longer and longer distances between benchmarks.
What do you mean by longer distances? Do you mean like in your transitions? You know, like 30 feet or something. Oh, no, sorry, 100 feet, 30 meters, something like that. Like
so I know.
If you go above that.
I know that you're a huge fan of me saying I don't prefer going over 100 feet between the auto level and the level rod.
Yep. That's where you take your measurements, right? For anybody not.
I say that distance because that's my personal preference, because the rod gets harder to read the farther away it is from the auto level.
Yeah.
But I don't hold it against someone who can push those legs a little farther and achieve the accuracy that's required for the project that they're transferring the elevation for.
Okay, well, when would you add your curvature correction into the known measured distances? Because you go in 30 feet, right, in between your transitions.
Well, that's an interesting question, Bev. So let's take I listened to you talking to Mr. Sensible the other day, and you said something about a mile along the canal. Let's just use a mile. Right?
Can you like make it fully right? Because although you may have heard me talking to Mr. Sensible, the other people listening, they might not have heard what I said to Mr. Sensible. So,
well, I'm not going to present your entire thesis for it, but you said that you were running a level run for about a mile.
Are we talking about my test now, or are we still on that initial question?
I'm using your words with Mr. Sensible as an example.
Okay. So can we talk about the test in a minute then?
I would like to finish what I'm saying right now.
Okay.
So let's just say you have a level run going a mile. To determine if you are accurately transferring that elevation, you should also run the traverse down that canal with a total station.
You just close the loop and go back to the beginning, right? That's what you do.
But you want to check and see that you've done correctly.
Yeah, you just do it multiple times and return the loop to close the loop at the end, right?
Try it again with another piece of equipment. Compare the two methods.
Yeah, you could do it 100 times with the same piece of equipment as well, couldn't you? Constantly getting more accurate every time. Try it with different bits of equipment. Get different people to try it with different bits of equipment. Yeah.
And then try it again with sub-centimeter survey grade GPS.
You could try it with all sorts, couldn't you?
Compare all the methods.
Yep. To establish a horizontal.
That doesn't establish a horizontal.
No, that's what the surveying techniques would be doing, right? You would be establishing a horizontal frame of reference, right? That's what the surveyors do, right?
At that point where the auto level sits, that establishes a horizontal plane.
No, you take a benchmark from one end and you transverse it as a horizontal plane to make your benchmark at the other end, right? So you find a known benchmark and then you move that to an unknown to make the unknown known. Yeah?
Let's suppose you have a benchmark at one end of your mile, and let's just say that the elevation is 100 feet, just for the sake of argument.
No. We're doing it at the side of a canal, like, so if we're talking about my test, like you were saying with Mr. Sensible, so it's at the side of a canal. Now everyone can imagine this. Well, don't know if everyone can imagine what the canals in the UK are like, but you know, everybody knows a stretch of water that's a steady body of water that they can imagine at the side of it, right? So we're banging a post in at the side of the canal, let's say a meter, and we just put a mark on it.
A meter from the canal, or a meter above the water?
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Well,
we're just banging a post in, we're putting a mark on it. That's it. And then we are going to say that is our mark. That's just the mark what we're going to do. We're going to transfer that mark onto another post, one at half mile, and then one at the full mile again. So
in that case, you are transferring an elevation. You're not transferring a horizontal line.
But that's the tools is a horizontal, right? The auto level that we're going to use to transfer that thing through differential leveling techniques, right? That would just transfer the horizontal mark from in the middle point and the end point, right?
You're transferring an elevation. You're not drawing a horizontal.
Horizontal.
Line.
Yeah, it's a
No.
horizontal.
From end to end, it is not horizontal.
Yes, it is.
No, from one end of the mile to the other end is not a horizontal
Are you
line.
saying an auto level would not establish a horizontal?
I'm saying that differential leveling techniques done properly will account for curvature automatically when you keep the foresight and the backsight relatively short and equal through the entire level run.
Right. Well, we are asking these people, these surveyors, to make a horizontal line, right?
Can
Particularly,
I ask?
we're not saying level,
elevation.
we're not saying curved, we're not saying anything. We are particularly saying a horizontal line of reference.
You're
You say
asking
that's not
surveyors
possible.
to transfer elevation.
Sorry?
You're asking a surveyor to transfer an elevation when he uses
So
she uses
what is your understanding of elevation then? Is it? It's a vertical distance above the mean sea level, right? Mean
It
sea
doesn't
level
have to be
being
the
your
mean sea
reference
level.
datum.
It could be any vertical datum you want. It could be a made-up datum if you want. If you wanted to say that the
That's
ground
like
next to
I
the canal
just
was
said
100
that.
feet,
I
you could do that.
put a make-up mark on the side of the post, right? And then you're saying, no, that's different in elevation. So I'm just establishing now the canal that has the water level within it at the side of where we've put this post has an elevation, right? Now that elevation, let's say it's 50 feet, right? It's 50 feet as a vertical distance above that mean sea level, right? That's what it is. It's established they established the mean sea level at
I don't know if
a
it's above
place.
the mean sea level or not. It's just a number.
Well, that's what they do in the UK. I mean, well, I can only speak for the UK.
What's the name of the datum that they use in the UK?
Sorry?
What's the name of the vertical datum they use in the UK?
It'd be the mean sea level, don't it?
There's an actual
now.
There's an
It
actual
used to
name.
be-
There's an
it
actual
used
name
to
for
be-
it.
Well, it's the 0 mark, right?
No, there's a name for the vertical datum
but
in the UK.
that is where they zero elevation.
Bev, there's a name
Okay.
for it. Could you tell us the name for it, please?
It's the datum, the 0 datum.
Yeah, there's a name for this.
Mean sea level at
Bev,
newbie.
let me give you an example.
UK.
Let me give you an example. In the United States, they use NAVD 88. That's a common one. That's the
your
name.
Geoid, right? That's your
the
geoid
no,
model.
that's the
I'm
name.
not talking about that. I'm just talking
Stop
about
interrupting
the,
me and listen.
mean sea level.
Stop interrupting and listen, Bev. This is the vertical datum that's used in the United States. Okay, what's the name of the vertical datum that's used in the UK? Just one of them, maybe. There's probably a bunch.
No.
Okay, so you're talking without knowing what you're talking about.
I'm
Okay,
telling
that's
you, I
fine.
can tell
Thank
you
you.
where it is established and where it was
Okay,
established. It used to
I'll-
be in
I'll-
Liverpool.
I'll
They've
look it.
now
I'll look
moved
it up
to
for you.
Newbie.
I'll look it up, and then in the future you could actually be informed about it. But go ahead, you two keep going while I do this for you. On
So
your
Bev,
behalf.
if you have
So it's
50
a
feet
vertical. It's a vertical height above that datum, right? That
if that's
50
the datum you're
foot.
referencing.
Yeah.
If that's the datum you're referencing.
Well, when it says on the maps 50 feet, right? It means 50 feet elevation as a vertical distance above that mean sea level, right? That's what it means.
So you're trying to
I'm just
make a
getting you to
50-foot elevation
confirm.
mark at the other end of the
The
mile. Is that what you're asking me?
elevation that you read on maps everywhere is a vertical distance above the mean sea level, which it would be a 0. That's your 0 datum, right? That's why it's 50 odd feet or 50 feet. It means 50 feet above the 0. They establish a 0 somewhere, right?
Yes.
And when you read elevation, it is a vertical height above that datum.
Right.
Okay, so elevation now, right? I say that's a horizontal. Right? Do you say that is a horizontal or not?
You're saying
that
what is a horizontal?
datum, the datum that you use is a horizontal datum.
No.
No. Okay. So when I see 50 feet elevation, I see it's a 50 feet vertical distance above a horizontal, because the vertical means you establish a horizontal, a flat base, and then measure perpendicularly from that horizontal to your other one. And that's where your line is, right?
So Bev, like I said before, the Maine surveyor is a surveyor, so you don't tell him what to do. It's best for you to just ask, how do you do it? And then he can tell you. Hold on, let me finish my sentence before you interject. Well, how about you ask him what they do, and then he can tell you what surveyors actually do. Okay?
He doesn't seem to know, though, McToons.
Oh, he absolutely does. You're very confused about it, though, and you're trying to interject what you imagine he does into it. So you should listen and learn. If you learn, then you might progress.
Have you given me enough time yet, or not?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So are you going to answer that then? Elevation. It is a vertical height above the datum.
It's a height above the datum. I'll agree with that, but the datum is not horizontal in the ones that I use.
It's a vertical height, though, right? That's what you measure. When you measure with your measuring rod, you are measuring a vertical. It's no good if your wad's wandering about, right? Right? It has to be vertical, that, doesn't it? Whenever you look through an auto level or whatever over your 30 meters, right? That measuring rod needs to be vertical, right?
The rod guy needs to be rocking the rod back and forth.
Yeah, and you take the minimum distance, right?
Correct.
And then you know that's in the vertical position.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that is a vertical elevation change when you have an elevation change, right?
You're reading the height of the crosshair above the ground where the rod is.
Brilliant. So we come back to the question that we initially started with, right? Is you imagine elevation to be a curve. I say it is a horizontal.
I don't actually imagine it to be a curve. It is a curve.
Okay, well, there's a difference then, right? There's a difference between a curve and a straight.
You mean a plane? A curve and a plane.
I'm gonna save some time right now. I'm gonna ask you, what are your surveying textbooks that you had in your qualification class that you say you took?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't have.
What surveying textbooks do you have in your house?
I don't have any surveying textbooks in my house.
You have put pictures of textbooks on Twitter in the past. Did you sell them or burn them?
Sorry,
I've seen pictures on Twitter that you posted of books that are in your house on surveying. Have you burned them because you didn't like them, or did you get rid of them since you put those pictures on?
Oh, you mean the geodetic survey?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what he was asking about.
No, that's not a book on surveying, is it? It's not a textbook on surveying.
Oh.
Come on, Toons.
Okay.
Bev, I have in front of me Elementary Surveying, 7th edition.
Brilliant.
And it says, datum, any level surface to which elevations are referred. Mm-hmm. For example, mean sea level. You're going to love this. Also called a datum plane, though not actually a plane.
I don't know. You broke up then. Did he break up for you as well?
Nope, he was perfectly clear to me. Why don't you say it again? No, he's going to say it again. This is good. You need to hear it.
Yeah. So, datum, any level surface to which elevations are referred. For example, mean sea level. You're going to love this part. Listen up carefully. Also called a datum plane, though not actually a plane.
Okay.
And it has this nice graphic that goes with it that shows mean sea level as an example of a datum, and it shows it as an arc. You explain to me how an arc is horizontal, because you seem to think that mean sea level is horizontal. But here is a surveying textbook, Bev, that explains the principle on which surveyors actually operate every day. explain that to Curve, explaining curvature corrections that must be used, and you are saying it means horizontal. You are wrong, Bev. That's not how surveying works.
Right. Well, you know my test. If you seen that test yet? Can we get round to that?
You mean where you're transferring an elevation?
No, with the water level, right? The whole test, not just a little tiny bit of it. The whole thing.
So how have you established the difference between the results you'd expect on a sphere and on a planar horizontal water level that you think it is?
Like
Ooh,
we were talking
that's a
about
good
before.
question. Can
Right.
I have
one.
just a second, Bev. I think this is a great thing. What if you tell us what you expect? You know, basically tell us the hypothesis. What do you expect to see if the Earth is flat? And then we can tell you what we'd expect to see if the Earth is a sphere. How about that? And because we both know our own models the best, right? So how about you tell us, what do you expect if you do your water level?
I've got a model.
You don't have a model? Yes, I know. Yeah, I know that.
I have a model of my
and that's a
level.
problem. I know that. I
have
know
a
you
model
don't
of
have a
my
model.
water
That's
level
a
test,
problem.
right?
But so here's the deal. You tell me what you expect to see if the Earth is flat, and then we'll tell you what we expect to see if the Earth is a sphere.
Earth
So go ahead.
isn't flat. McToon.
So
Yeah,
say
go ahead.
say you,
Topography, surveying, right? Means that the Earth isn't flat. You measure topography. Ask your guy that's pretending to be a surveyor, right?
Pretending.
That's not
hold on.
flat, is it?
Let's be clear, Bev. Are you going to just say clearly right now that the Maine surveyor is lying about being a surveyor? Are you going to say that right now?
I'm going to say that the surveyors would measure topography.
No, I'm sorry.
Now that is a
Are you
change
going to say
in
or just
elevation.
or stop saying that the Maine surveyor is a surveyor or
He'd
not?
have to prove
Is
that
he
he's
a
surveyor,
surveyor?
wouldn't he? He would, in order
Well,
for that, he would need
let's
to
just
know
ask him.
he is a surveyor.
Excuse me, Maine surveyor. Are you a licensed geodetic surveyor in the state of Maine?
I am a licensed professional surveyor in the state of Maine.
There you go. Okay.
Are you bound by any ethical code or anything?
Oh, you like to ask that question, don't you?
That's the first time I've ever asked it, to be honest.
Actually, Bev, you've asked it to me on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, you never answered, did you?
I actually did answer, Bev.
I can't remember. Just remind us.
We have a standards of practice which we must follow.
Yep. Code of ethics, to be honest, to the public and represent your code.
In Maine statute, it is called a standards of practice.
Okay. And you would be bound by that, right?
When performing my professional duties.
Okay. And are you performing your professional duties at the moment?
I am representing the profession of surveying at the moment as an individual.
Okay. Fantastic. So, when we do our test and we establish, first of all, step one would be to establish a horizontal line. Now, can surveyors do that?
We
Over
could
a mile.
establish, so listen, we could establish a horizontal line. The
Yep.
ground will tend to drop away underneath that horizontal line eventually, assuming that the topography is consistent.
So like over
You know,
water,
like say
for
along
example.
like along your canal, along your
Okay.
canal. If we were to establish a horizontal line at one end and make that horizontal line stay horizontal to that point where it began, then the ground will drop away underneath it eventually.
Okay, so we establish that horizontal and we make it go past the half-mile mark and all the way to a mile mark. So we have one horizontal line across 3 posts. Can a surveyor do that?
If that's what you want the surveyor to establish, the surveyor could establish that, but it's not
Brilliant.
the same as transferring an elevation.
Brilliant.
Those are two different
that can
things.
be done, right? So that can be done. So we can have 3 posts, one at a mile, one at a half mile, and one at the other end, right?
They'll
We're
all
all
be
with
different. They'll all be
marks
different.
on them
They'll-
that will
they'll
be
all-
on the same horizontal.
but different elevation.
Well, just the same horizontal, right? That's all we're
But different.
interested
But the
in.
elevation would have to be
But
different.
yeah, I don't know whether they'd be bothered about they keeping telling me that we were a different elevation or anything. So it can be done. They can put 3 marks on them posts, right?
They'll all be a different elevation.
Well, they would be on a horizontal though. That's all we're bothered about, right?
The surface of the Earth is curved. Therefore, 50 feet at the
you can
beginning
have a horizontal though.
will
can't
not be 50 feet at the end of the mile.
you can have a horizontal though. That it is possible for surveyors to establish a horizontal over a mile,
Why would you want the surveyor to do that?
because that's part of the test.
But what are you testing in your test?
We just the level and horizontal, right? Is there a connection
Oh,
between the two?
you're testing definitions. That's not how
No,
we test
no.
definitions.
No, this is a practical
You start with the
test,
right
right?
you start with
It's
the
a
right definition
practical-
first.
Practical. This is a practical test. In reality, we've just established that surveyors, like your profession, supposedly, right? Your friends can establish a horizontal over a 1 mile distance.
Bev, do you think that 50 feet in elevation at the start of the mile is going to be 50 feet and horizontal at the end of the mile?
Do I think that?
I'm asking you that.
Yeah, I probably do. Yeah, let's say yes. I imagine that if there is no change in elevation, that means it is a horizontal. Yes, that's what I imagine. Or in fact, I know it.
So here's
You
let,
know it.
Yeah.
let's
The test.
let's
Can we
let's
go
back
to
up.
the test, or
Yeah,
are
let's
you
let
scared
me
of it yet?
let me do this, Bev. Let me explain, and you just
Yeah.
listen. You listen. Get your ears up here. The wolf. The ears are up. The mouth is shut. Okay. At a point
Ooh, very
on the
nice. Gang
surface.
signs.
No, that's a wolf. Right.
Oh, right. Is
Mouth-
that wolf
mouth
pack?
shut.
You're bringing the wolf pack out.
Mouth
Me and your
mouth
chat.
shut. The mouth is shut. Ears are up. Okay.
Is that what the wolves do?
On the surface of a sphere, you can
Okay.
the plane that is orthogonal.
Three-dimensional surface of a sphere.
The plane that is orthogonal to the plumb line is level at that point of the plumb line. Okay, that horizontal plane is a unique
on a sphere.
Yes, honestly, that was the first thing I said.
Yeah.
Mouth shut, ears up. Okay. So I'll back it
Sounded
up
on the
again.
ball.
I'll back it up again, right? And then I'll explain it again since you missed the first thing. On the surface of a sphere, the plane that is orthogonal to the plumb line is horizontal. That plane is unique for every single point on the sphere, right? So horizontal is a plane, level is the curved surface, right? Now, what is, can you talk about level and horizontal on a flat surface? I'll let you explain that since it's your claim.
No, we talk about my test, and we've established the
No.
horizontal, right?
No. We're just covering the math, the geometry part of it here. And so, what is your
So
your
geometry
understanding
we're using.
of the geometry?
We're using
of the-
Euclidean geometry.
we're using geometry here. So go ahead.
Euclidean geometry.
Yeah, go ahead. What would you expect to see on the surface of a flat surface? What's orthogonal to the plumb line?
You mean perpendicular?
Orthogonal is a 3-dimensional. Perpendicular is 2-dimensional. Do you not know that?
Perpendicular is 3-dimensional,
there.
right?
Say that again.
Perpendicular is 3-dimensional, right?
Orthogonal is 3-dimensional.
No. Perpendicular is 3-dimensional. So when you
okay.
say perpendicular, the definition of that would come from Euclidean geometry,
Okay,
right?
so get to it. I'm listening.
So it's defined within Euclidean geometry, and that is 2 straight lines. So you would say that the plumb line is a vertical, and the right angle to it is Horizontal, right? Perpendicular to the vertical is horizontal. But your
I'm
sort
sorry,
of
I'm sorry.
orthogonal works the same as well, doesn't it?
Are
Same
vertical
thing.
and horizontal defined in Euclid's book there?
They're defined as being perpendicular, right?
Excuse me, I'm asking, are the words vertical and horizontal defined
But
in
they
your
are
book?
they are defined as being perpendicular. Now that is definitely Euclidean definition. Two straight lines, perpendicular.
Bev, would you be interested to know what the definition of a level surface is in surveying?
You'll probably tell me, but I mean, go back to the test, right? The test would have a horizontal. We'd have 3 points on 3 posts that are marked as horizontal. Then what we do is the next part, right, is it's really easy. You just get some hose pipe, right? And you lay it down by the side of these posts. Yeah, that's easy enough, right?
I'm listening.
And we put vials on the end of them, so we effectively turn this water level big long tube that we'll put a T-junction in the middle of it as well, so we can put it up against each of these posts with the vial, strap them around it, and then we can fill that water level up, can't we?
So are you establishing a horizontal line across that distance, horizontal to the beginning, or are you
the
establishing an elevation, the same
the
elevation?
Surveyors did the horizontal at the beginning, right? They made 3 marks that were horizontal on 3 posts. They did that.
Who's they?
The surveyors that established the horizontal. That's what we just decided before, right?
Oh, you're gonna hire some surveyors to come do this?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so you're gonna
Like
ask
professionals.
them. So you're gonna put in 3 posts, and you're gonna say, okay, start at this post, and I want you to use a horizontal plane and mark with the horizontal plane that's perpendicular to the plumb line, right? Or orthogonal is the better word. So from post 1
establish that
to
horizontal
post 2
all the way
to
across.
post 3, right? So all right,
No,
so
a horizontal. I'm saying horizontal.
yes,
same
so
horizontal.
So now, are you saying horizontal, or are you saying you want the same elevation at each thing to the surveyors that you're
that's
hiring?
the
Do
important.
you want me to just say it again? I will confirm. We want a horizontal, right? That
So you're
is
accounting for curvature then?
Straight line.
A flat plane. Okay, so when you do that, if you say those words to the surveyors and don't try to confuse them by telling them you want elevation, then you're going to have.
Would be confused.
By you, absolutely, because you're, yeah. So what's going to happen then is you put your mark right here, right? You got the pen. You put your mark on the first one. Here's what the surveyors are going to do. You go to the next one. It's going to be higher.
And
you go to
will be higher.
Yeah, you go to the final one. It's going to be even higher still.
No, we're just doing a horizontal. What do you mean higher? How can it be higher?
Because
higher than what?
Because the surface higher in relation to the canal that it's next to, right? So you're going to go and you're going to measure off the top of the water.
Forget about the canal.
No, but you're doing it next to a canal for a reason.
Horizontal, right?
Yeah, and according to every surveyor in the world, the first one you'll have a certain elevation. The next one, the elevation is going to be higher for that horizontal
when we come
plane.
Back again, what would happen when we come back again to check the horizontal? Right?
You were saying they.
Well, I can do this after them, can't I?
Are you
saying I can't have a go at this? Me and my lads, we're not allowed.
Trying to make sure you get your pronouns right. Is it they or are you part of this? We doing this measuring?
Are
you considering yourself
be measuring this? Well, yeah, me and the lads. We
So after you
doing surveying, yes. We have an auto level. We do this sort of stuff. Yes.
You're not going to be doing the surveying.
Let's say the surveyors, right? The surveyors are establishing a horizontal. Now they establish it all the way across from one end to the other, and then they go back again to make sure it is all the same horizontal.
I need clarification here. I want to make sure I'm not assuming anything about what you're doing. You asked a professional surveyor to establish a horizontal line across a mile. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, on the posts. I've explained it just like I've explained it to you. 3 posts.
And the surveyor is not just going to transfer the same elevation across a mile. You're asking them to transfer a horizontal line across a mile.
They've never been like you are at the minute. You seem to be a different sort of surveyor than we've ever encountered before. Are you sure? Are you sure that's correct? Right, because surveyors can establish a horizontal, right? You seem to be struggling to understand that.
Why would you want them to, Bev? Why would you want them to?
Why would I want them to establish a horizontal? Why would I want the surveyors to use a tool to establish a horizontal over a mile? Because I've got a test, a water level test, right? And and
you're designing it to be inconclusive or to be a total failure.
No, I'm designing. All we've done is establish so far that we've got 3 marks on a post that are horizontal. Now we've laid some water levels at the side of it, and you've gone all funny, and now we're going back to you don't seem to think you can do horizontal. Establish a horizontal anymore.
Bev, you're confused because you think that you could measure to prove a definition when you're using the wrong procedure to find out if the water is curving or not.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
What? Yeah,
Isn't that what you want to know, Bev?
People have measured the surface of water to be curved already.
Who is that?
Well, the person you're talking to, not me. The other guy you're talking to right now has done that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's measured the curvature of the water level.
Of the water.
So Bev, we're not going to play the game of
water level,
whether you're talking about the water level device
just a second
or
here.
the surface of water, because that's nonsense.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. You like the word games.
You know, Jesse said the other day, right, that the water level is measurably, it drops away from horizontal. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So surveyors can establish a horizontal, right?
But why would you want them to?
Maybe we might be checking what Jesse said, right? Because Jesse says it's measurable, right? So let's establish a horizontal. Now, can surveyors, professional surveyors, you know, the ones that actually get paid to do a job, right? Can they establish a horizontal line over a mile?
We can. Why would you want us to?
Brilliant. So you could make 3 marks on these posts that are all on the same horizontal, right?
Those marks would be the projection of the horizontal line at one end of your mile, and they would be at different elevations.
Okay, so you couldn't do the same on the way back again then, is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a horizontal line and the elevation are 2 different
okay, right.
things.
So if we go along this line and set a horizontal, and obviously when you are surveying, right, you have to close your loop to make sure you're for accuracy and error checks, right? So you close your loop and you want to establish a horizontal back again, right? Because it's a tool to establish a horizontal, right? That's what the tool is, an auto level, right? So you establish a horizontal one way, and then you come back to close your loop and establish a horizontal back again. Now, would you be getting like somewhere near 0? Or hopefully to be getting like somewhere near like a millimeter? I would, hopefully, anyway.
A millimeter?
What about you?
Well, Bev, you know, there is a difference between reading to the nearest millimeter and being millimeter accurate.
Nice obfuscation. What about the closing the loop question on the horizontal?
Oh yeah, you need to run the both directions.
Okay, so then we would check.
Leveling.
Yeah, we'd check then, wouldn't we? And we'd have 3 marks on these 3 posts, all on the same horizontal, right?
Bev, I'm not sure why you want to establish a horizontal line over a mile.
Can be done though, can't it?
You really want to just transfer the same elevation across the miles. What you want to do? They're two different things.
No, it's a horizontal, right? We want to establish a horizontal. Yes,
I keep
That's
asking
definitely.
you why.
We want the surveyors to establish a horizontal.
I keep asking you why you want to establish a horizontal over a mile. Because you really want to be transferring an elevation because Earth's surface is curved. You're testing to see if it's curved. You're going to have to start out with the same elevation at all 3 points, not a horizontal line that's horizontal at the beginning.
We need to be able to check that the water level surface, the one that Jesse Kozlowski, is he your mentor? Jesse.
Yeah. Jesse and Larry Scott are both my mentors. Absolutely.
Okay, so Jesse says
we all need someone who has more
water
experience to talk to.
Can be measured dropping from horizontal. So I'm just getting to check that a surveyor can establish a horizontal over a mile. Then we can do is we put water levels up against these marks, this horizontal. And then we can fill it up.
And what do you expect to see?
Well, what would you expect to see? Because Jesse says it measurably drops away from the horizontal.
I need you to tell me what your prediction is. Don't make me explain your test for you.
I would predict the water level being a tool that establishes a horizontal plane of reference would be exactly the same. In fact, I would say and hope that the water level would be more accurate than the auto level.
Do you think that these horizontal marks will be the same elevation across the mile?
We'd ask the surveyors to do it, so yeah, I would hope so. Are you saying once again that you don't think the surveyors could establish a horizontal?
I didn't say that. I'm saying a horizontal and a consistent elevation are two different things.
So you keep
if you're extending a horizontal from the beginning of the mile, taking that line and extending it in the same orientation all the way down this mile, that's going to be different. That's going to be different than the elevation at the beginning and the end.
The straight line.
Do you have a section of canal that is straight for a mile?
Like we have it in between locks.
I didn't ask that. I asked, do you have a mile of straight canal?
Yeah, why? What do you need a mile of straight canal for?
That you said that you have a straight mile of canal, so I'm asking you.
So I'm asking you why we need a mile of straight. We've got 27 miles in between locks, right? So that would be the same.
It's your test. It's your test. You tell me.
What am I telling you?
Don't make me explain your test to you. You explain your test to me.
Okay. So what we do is we get surveyors to come and establish 3 marks on 3 posts, one at the beginning, one at the half-mile mark, and one at the mile mark.
Yes, we've been over
them
that.
To establish a horizontal line on each of those posts, the same horizontal, right? Because it's definitely doable, that isn't it?
So all right. To be clear, which horizontal are you going to go at? Because the horizontal point at the first marker, the middle marker, sorry, one of the edges or the middle one? Is it going to be the horizontal plane starting?
The horizontal.
Yeah, which one is it? Is it going to be referenced
plane, right?
to?
It's the same
which
horizontal,
one? This is a simple question. There's three posts. 1, 2, 3. And there's a mile between. There's a half mile between.
All the way across the same horizontal. All the way across.
There's the first one, the second one, the third one. There is the horizontal plane is for one of them. Which one? 1, 2, or 3.
Horizontal plane's only for one.
So when you give instructions,
plane will go through all.
Yes,
three.
of course. Now
when
you give instructions, when you give instructions,
horizontal plane, yes.
Yes, when you give instructions to the surveyors, they're going to want to know which horizontal plane you want. The first one, the second one, or the third one. Of course they are. That's what they're going to do.
No,
they're going to say you want a horizontal plane.
That think like that. Think like that.
Yeah. So have you selected the surveying company that you're going to hire yet? What's the name of the company?
No.
No, you're not.
No.
You haven't yet?
No, I've not.
Have you been like asking them and interviewing potential surveying companies yet? Getting
we've
prices on them?
been looking around at surveying companies. Yes, we
Okay,
have, yeah.
and what's
We've
what's
got
the
a special
expected?
man on the job? And
What's the
he's, very
expected
good at
budget?
it.
What's the expected budget you're going to have to spend on that?
What, to anybody?
To the professional surveying company that you're going to hire to do this?
Yeah, we do this for nothing. We don't ask anybody for any PayPal donations.
No, I'm not
or
asking
anything.
what you're asking. I'm asking what you're expecting to pay, because a professional surveying company is going to charge you money. So
Yes.
what do you think they're going to charge you for this service?
For the service of establishing a horizontal.
It's just the service. They provide a service. How much are you
Putting-
expecting to pay for them to do this service for you?
I haven't got a clue yet. How much would you ask Jeff? Jeff, how much would you charge for establishing?
I don't know what the going rate is in
how much
Britain.
would you
Maybe-
charge for your
maybe in-
going rate? If
maybe in
say
Maine.
with somebody in down the street that wanted to do it.
I'm not sure. If it was
How
a
mu-
flat earther or wait, you're not a flat earther.
No, not
You're
not
a-
flat earther. You
you're
have
a-
different
you're a-
charges, do you?
Topographic.
Your,
A topographic earther.
You're a universal horizontal waterer.
Nice accent. I could not tell the difference. I thought Bev said that, actually.
just
I'm
call
just
us
trying-
a leveler. That'll do, right?
Just no, because you got the definition of level wrong.
In the live chat, people, do you like the Maine
much-
Surveyor, or do you
How
like
much?
Bev's
Yeah,
accent
cool.
better? Just go ahead and tell us that in the live chat. So, how many hours do you think it would take you? Because you'd have to have a couple people, right? And you'd need to go back and forth between the half mile and the 1 mile away,
Yeah.
a little bit. So probably you'd set up somebody with a theodolite on the first post. You'd send somebody a half mile away, and then you'd communicate with them to put a mark on that one.
Do you not know how to do differential leveling?
I'm asking the Maine Surveyor what he might do. I'm throwing
Oh, yeah,
out some
please,
spitballs
Jeff,
here.
Tell
So
us how you do it. Like, then you'll give us an idea how much it costs.
So, Bev, the thing that is, you're not going to tell the surveyor what tools to use. You tell the
no.
surveyor what they
Yeah.
need, and the surveyor decides what tools they're going to use. I can't
Well,
make the
no, well-
determination of what it would cost, but it might be at least a day in the field, establishing elevations, then do some calculations, come back another day, and make the marks that you want.
Wow.
yeah, these are professionals. You know,
2 days work then, Jeff. How much do you charge for that? 2 days.
Oh, I'm
You,
not.
you and your lad, obviously, the stick carrier.
what's the
I'm
going
I'm far too expensive for you to hire me, Bev.
what's the going
How much
rate?
would you charge for the
I'll look
ultra
at,
high class people that you do work
I'll
for?
I'll look it up here. I'll look it up here for you, Bev.
Why don't you tell us, Jeff? What's up?
Because I haven't priced the job.
Well, have a quick price of it. Go on.
No.
Give us the
So
how much you would
two-
charge a normal person, and how much
So-
you would
so-
charge a flat earther.
So 2 days.
Are you a flat earther then? Is that what you're saying?
No. He said he'd charge flat earthers different
So-
prices.
Now, Bev, I have done pricing for software development. So I have a little bit of a background. You figure out how much time it is, and then you figure out your going rate. It's not that hard. So you got a day of book work and a day in the field for 2 people. So you got about 3 days worth of work, right? Maybe
A day of book work.
so maybe 3
Somewhere around-
3 days times 8, right? So what's 3 times 8, Bev?
Pardon?
That's wrong. It's 24.
24.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
That's how
Se-
much the
second try. Okay,
difference
so
in drop
so
is
I'm just gonna
on the
guess.
ballers canal.
I'm just gonna guess. $150 an hour is maybe a going rate for a professional service like that.
Wow.
So
Sounds profitable, Jeff.
$1,200
You're
would be what you might expect to pay for
For
that.
Jeff to put
For a-
3 horizontal
For
marks on
a
3
professional, well, a professional surveyor needs to have a certain level of a quality that's guaranteed. They're not just going to come out there and start spitballing stuff and guessing at things, right? They're going to come out there and they're going to do a good job, and they're going to make sure it's a good job. And if you complain, then they're going to send somebody back to fix it, because they're going to make sure they get it right.
Okay. So we've got normally they say that it'd be quicker to just do a GPS, right? But they say that GPS would be maybe 2 inches off.
GPS does not give you level.
It's not,
or sorry,
it's not
a horizontal.
accurate. It's not,
it doesn't
yeah, it's not
does not
accurate.
give you a horizontal plane. GPS gives you elevation, which are distinct.
Yeah, but we're doing an elevation, right, through horizontal, right?
Well, elevation and horizontal are different.
Yeah, but we're asking surveyors to establish, right, a horizontal.
Yes. Yes.
Particularly, and now they do say that they can bring the GPS system, right? But it's not that accurate.
Oh, I wouldn't say
Right?
that.
Is that right? How accurate could you make it then, Jeff, with your
So it
GPS
depends.
system?
It depends on the length of time you have your setup. It depends on how many satellites you have. It depends on where the satellites are in the sky.
You have to have satellites.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how
for
GPS
heaven's
works.
sakes.
Do you order them in? Would that be a cost process, right?
It's how many
Or
satellites.
Would you just be
it's-
charging somebody $1,000 to do this job when you could actually come and do it with a GPS and just go blip blip and do it a lot quicker?
Golden Brisket just checked my work. You're right. It's not $1,200.
Bev, I can't retask satellites.
Yeah.
You have to plan ahead of time.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So
the
how
way
much
the
do
way
you charge
well
then, Jeff, for
let's
doing
let's
this?
back up. 3,600 was mine. I got the math wrong. So Bev, let me just give a back up a little bit for you, Bev.
$3,500.
Let me back up for you here, Bev, because you seem
Wow, they must be
confused.
coining it in.
You seem confused about
3
how this
marks
works.
on 3 posts.
Yes, so you seem confused about how this works. So let's see. Oh, I think Jeff. We have George
still here.
Natchik in here twice. If you need to go, I know you had something.
Yeah.
Tap out.
I'm just gonna.
You're
I'm
not
gonna stick around
tapping
for,
out, Jeff. Come on.
Bev, I have other commitments in my life.
Okay.
So Bev, the Earth is spherical. It's
And
measurable.
Which geometry
I've
do you
measured
use,
it.
Jeff, before you go? When
I
you do
use
surveying? Which
Surveying geometry, Bev.
Oh wow, who did that? Is that
What?
is that a branch of Fight the Flat Earth geometry?
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to bring up Craig. I know
Yeah,
how much you like him.
He can't go without talking about that. I mean, I could invite him
He
in.
does make
But we
up
got-
geometry, and all of you lot parrot it, right?
No, Bev. I
Yeah,
told you I
yeah.
have surveying textbooks. I have surveying textbooks that explain the geometry involved in surveying. And you can test it yourself and see if it works out in the field or not. Like, the divergence of plumb lines. That's a pretty important thing to understand.
How much do you charge
Especially
for
for your
that?
test. Oh, Bev, all the work that I've done on YouTube, that's all been at my own time that I've donated to educating people that are
Right. How much
confused
would
about
how much would you normally
water.
cost it then?
I have no idea because I haven't quantified
Sounds
it all, Bev.
profitable.
So Bev, I think you maybe because you don't, you're not employed in a professional field, you probably don't know how this works, but there's businesses that charge an hourly rate, and that's very much independent of what the actual employee
Yeah, it's pretty
gets.
demeaning, that.
A lot of the time,
Who are you talking to? Who do you think
a
you're talking to?
well, I know that you're not a professional. You don't work in a professional career where you work and your time is billed out. I know that. Is that correct? Or am I? Did you get a new?
Yes.
Did you get a new
Yes,
job
I
since?
am a carer for my family. Yes.
Okay, so do
I
you
am. Yes.
do you bill?
I
you bill
was
hourly?
A joiner. Yes, I was a professional joiner. Right?
Okay.
I got paid for that.
Okay.
And then I went to college and did a technical
Excellent.
building.
Okay, so
course,
here's
right?
so
2 years.
here's
where
a
we
good
did
question then for you. For some,
Surveying and land
Yeah, so-
surveying.
yeah, so
2
here's a little-
years I was doing all of this.
listen up here for a second. I have
training,
a clarifying question.
Training
A
with the
clarifying question
qualifications
for you.
within
Yes.
surveying.
When when
So I find it a bit demeaning
yes,
for you
yes.
to
Now,
have a go
now
at
listen.
being professional. I know
Yes,
what it's like.
yes. Listen up.
Unfortunately, I'm a
Could
carer now.
Can
I
you zip it
can't
for a minute so that
work
I can explain how these things
professionally,
work, Bev?
McToons. Okay.
Here's how it works. The company charges an hourly rate. That is not typically directly paid in any proportion to the employee. All of the employees in a certain category might have their hours billed at the same rate, but the individual employees make whatever they make. Maybe it's salary, maybe it's hourly, depends on the company,
I know
right?
people make money for doing their job.
Exactly, but it's not directly proportional. So if a company charges $150 an hour, the employee might be salaried, or they might get an hourly rate of 30, 50, 75, I don't know, right? But it's not 100. So whatever the Maine surveyor, his time that is billed professionally out is not a 1-to-1 ratio to what his income is.
That's right.
Spreading it out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Bev, I make far less than I bill hourly.
Okay, fantastic. How much would you charge to put 3 marks on 3 coats over a mile?
Oh, we have some connectivity issues here with. So
I don't know, Bev. Still getting me?
You're kind of cutting out there. So we have just as an example, Geistview talks about his he does drone work. Yeah, it's kind of rough there.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to get going anyway.
Okay.
Bev, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, MC Toon. I've had a lot of fun, and I will talk to you guys later.
All right. It's a shame you didn't really tell us too much about your profession.
All right. So here's we got George Natchik in. This is the first time I've had George on. How you doing, buddy?
Oh,
hey, hi there, Toon.
Well. Hey, George.
Hey there, Bev. Is my audio coming through okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah. Sorry I missed you when I was on my way back through the cities from Colorado. I ended up passing through Minneapolis about 3 a.m. I figured it wouldn't be wise.
Oh man, I'd pop out for you at 3 a.m. That's all right. That's all right. So you're back up in northern Minnesota there.
That is correct.
Yep. We might go camping in northern Minnesota this weekend. So I don't think we'll get far enough north. We don't even know. We're just right now. It's still just an idea. So
sure. Yeah, the colors are peaked out right now.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, you might want to try at least the North Shore Drive out of Duluth. That's always a real nice drive this time of year.
Yeah, that's a nice spot. So, all right. Let's see. How about I got a couple super chats here, if you don't mind a second here, Bev. I'll try to go through them here quickly, and I don't think a whole lot of them are addressing you, Bev, but maybe they will. You could have a little response. So we got N_DH is a new member. Thank you very much. And he already gets to use the fancy icons. So, all right. Lael is here for $2. Says, how many nuh-uhs will we be able to count today? I don't think we have a nuh-uh yet. We have a lot of levels and horizontals. The Athens 619 for $5 says, Bev is a Poe. Your camera has more focus than all flurfs combined. Bev, are you a Poe?
What's a Poe?
Poe would be somebody that does it for pretend.
So it's what am I doing for pretend? I'm not pretending. This is a real test, right?
Okay. I don't think you're a Poe. I don't. I try not to have Poes on. So Jess, who no longer has the Ika-G on the back, for $5 says, try the hot new Bev action figure. It says his 3 favorite phrases. I see where you're struggling. Water level. I'm sorry, I can't do that accent. And level is horizontal. Did that come out New Yorkish? I think it maybe did. Svein. Ooh, that sounds Northern European. Svein Argimson is a new member as well. Thank you very much. Bella Charge for 2 New Zealand says, what up, fuckers? Flat Earth Fokker, I've been talking to him. He's coming up maybe in a month. He's going on vacation again. So Jess for $2 says, Bev, the sanitation engineer explaining surveying. Ooh, a sanitation engineer. Did you get a promotion?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Lael
I'm
is
a carer.
okay.
Right? Was that a joke? A sanitation engineer?
I think that was from Jess. Yeah, so you could take it up with
you
her.
were laughing. Thought that was very.
It was a good one.
James.
So all right, Lael is here for $5. Says the Maine Surveyor. When we talking about surveying tools, what does a horizontal plane mean? And now he's not here anymore. Maybe George can answer. What does a horizontal plane mean?
Has George got some surveying qualifications? George, do you have any surveying qualifications?
Enough for this discussion.
What are they then?
I am not a professional surveyor. I am a professional engineer licensed in the state of Colorado.
Surveying qualifications was the question.
Hey, don't interrupt him,
I'm going
please.
through it, if you'd let me finish. I have studied surveying techniques under David Zenk, who is the Mid-Plains Geodetic Surveying advisor for the National Geodetic Surveyors in the United States. So my qualifications are probably every bit as good, if not more, than what you have, Bev.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So what is a horizontal plane then, George?
Oh, you want to get into that? Well, horizontal plane is just, well, first let's define plane. Plane would be a surface such as like with a sheet of plywood, let's say, where all points do not deviate from a straight line. All lines defined on a plane would be straight lines. So a horizontal plane would be one that depends on the surface that you're talking about. Like if you want to talk about the Earth, where you have a curved surface, I could bring up some graphics to show some of this a lot easier. But
no, we're talking a plane within mathematics, right, George?
Okay, I just described a plane. A plane is a surface that has no curvature to it whatsoever. Okay, all points on a plane lie on straight lines.
Yeah, that which has only length and breadth within Euclidean geometry, right? Well,
length and breadth can mean many things in general. I mean, you have to be more specific than that. But yeah, a plane is a two-dimensional. A plane is a two-dimensional flat surface. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Euclidean geometry, definition number 5, book 1. A superficies
forget
is
about this Euclidean geometry in the
length and breadth.
All right, a plane is a collection of points that lie on a flat two-dimensional surface.
We agreed, George.
All right,
I was just giving you the
next point.
definition.
All right, well, let me finish here. Bella Charge says, why is Bev using feet in England when he lives with the metric system, right? Would it not be in meters? So, Bev, in your measurements, are you going to do it in imperial units? When you do your test that you want to do, is it going to be in imperial units, metric units, or Scottish sheep units? My vote is Scottish sheep units. That's my favorite.
A measuring rod. Can you see it? It's in the camera. That one. That one. Right. Centimeters.
Okay,
right,
you could have just said metric.
Yeah. Yeah, what's your sheet one? Show us the sheet one. What was that?
mctoon.net.
Is that a joke?
It's the official unit of Scotland. Do you not know that? Yeah, you can. I have a reference on my website, mctoon.net/sheep, and you can see. You can see that.
Scottish reference, is it?
Scottish.
Nice.
Yes. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. So, all right. Metric is the answer there for your belly charge. Syed Ahmad for $5 says, I have a question for Bev, right? You don't like left, right. You get confused with surveying, right? Am I Bev and I make things up, right?
Is that a question? Go on. Can
you
you
don't
translate it for us?
You don't like the left, right? Let's get confused with surveying, right? I am Bev and I make things up, right? That's what he said there. Yeah, Syed.
Well, well, unless he is called Bev. Other than that, he's correct. He's making shit up. You know?
Yeah. All right. So Sir Pick a Pup the Benevolent, pretty nice there. £5. So it looks like he's Sir Picka is in the UK. Says, may I apologize on behalf of UK people, please. Don't use Bev as a datum for our country. Well, that's a good one. Sleepy Dan says, why don't...
How much did he pay you? £5 to say that?
He did. Yes. Thank you very much, Sir Picka.
Oh, look at this smile
nice.
on your face. I'm not surprised. Look at that. Yeah.
Man, big time.
Wow, there's some. Do you even know what he said or what he meant by it? Or
he said, may I apologize on behalf of the UK. Please don't use Bev as a datum for our country.
Okay.
So, apology accepted.
Nice.
Sleepy Dan for $2 says, why don't flat earthers have a code of ethics? That's a good one. How come,
I don't know. Like
for example, let's...
right? Because the Earth has got topography, right?
Yeah.
Deal with that, should we?
Yeah, so do you think
it's not flat, right?
Do you think it's a sphere?
You know what flat is? Flat is a two-dimensional surface.
Do you think the Earth is a sphere?
Pardon?
Do you think the Earth is spherical, Bev?
Do you think the Earth is spherical?
Do you think the Earth is spherical, Bev? I'm asking you a simple question.
Is spherical, McToons?
Why won't you answer a simple yes/no question? I think
I'm
we all know.
You. Do you think
all
it's
right.
spherical?
Of course it is. Now, what's your answer?
Spherical, with it like a sphere.
Oh, your answer is spherical. Excellent.
No. You think it's like a sphere, do you?
It has been measured to be spherical.
Oh, a radius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. A radius is at the center of a sphere, right?
Yes. I said spherical, right? If you're going to be more particular, it's an ellipsoid.
Okay. So does that have a radius?
It has two radii. Yes. A polar radius and an equatorial radius.
Okay. So there's two different curvatures then.
Yes.
There's only two different curvatures. Where's that change in the curvature?
They're very
Where
close.
Does that occur?
They're very close. So depending on the level of accuracy you need, you can use a single radius or use both if you need to be more accurate, right? So it depends on the margin of error.
Just the two, though, right? Just have the two.
It gets more complicated than that if you want, but that's okay. Bev, when you do a measurement, right? You used to be a joiner. When you do a measurement and you look at the at your ruler, right?
Straight line distance.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you look at that, what's the margin of error when you have a ruler that goes to millimeters? What's the margin of error?
Well, it would be a millimeter, right?
A half a millimeter. Yeah.
Well, half. Like, can you not get that close?
Yeah. When you have a measuring device that has lines on the millimeters, the margin of error is half of a millimeter.
Okay, so what about if it's got lines on the half millimeter then?
Then it's a quarter millimeter.
Right, so why is it at the half distance that your error?
It's because that's the accuracy of that instrument.
The accuracy is half of the distance of the grading.
Yeah. Is this new to you? This seems new to you.
Wait, when you say I've got a grading on my measuring staff there that's a graded centimeter, right? So what are you saying the accuracy is?
If it's at a centimeter, if that's all that it has, and there's one line at 1 centimeter, one line at 2 centimeters.
Yeah.
Your margin of error is half of a centimeter.
No, I could get to the millimeter, right?
But you don't have markings on there for
George.
millimeter.
George, right?
George, when you have
not right with the error there margin, is he?
How do you do margin of error, George?
Well, generally what I do to get margin of error, you have to have several data points in order to do some statistics on it, so that you look at the mean, you average all the points to get the mean, and then you subtract all the data points from the mean to get what the variation is, and then just do a variational statistics on it to get what your RSSing is on the error. But the simple way, if you didn't want to do that, you can get a growth estimate by taking the mean and just subtracting all the data points from the mean, and then look for the max and the min on the difference of each data point from the mean, and then that would kind of give you an idea of what to expect in terms of error.
Right, sweet. But we're just talking about now doing like differential leveling, where you have a foresight and a backsight.
Well, on that would
so there's
depend
only like
upon,
two
well,
measurements,
there's two
right?
sources of errors there. Is the one source of error, of course, is the limitation of your instrumentation. If you have using an auto level and you have a 1 arc-second auto level.
No, well, you see, Maine Surveyor said he'd only go 30 meters away, 100 feet. Right, is the maximum distance he'd go. So we're talking about that sort of distance.
Right. Yes,
he didn't say that. What are you talking about? He didn't say that.
Again, that is taking also, that's taking the Earth curvature into account. You interrupted me before I finished. There's several sources that can cause an error in leveling. One is operator error. Another is limitations of your equipment. And then the other is the Earth curvature. Is generally you don't want to go much more than about 60, 70 meters tops in order to not have the Earth's curvature affect your leveling.
Yeah, Jeff says he only goes over 30. Like, he wouldn't advise anybody.
That's right.
To go
it depends
over 30.
upon the level of accuracy that you want.
So that's what we're talking about, right? That margin of error. If you're looking over 30 meters with an auto level, and you've got a staff that is graded in centimeters, right?
Well, do you understand how
Toon
much
says the error margin is 0.5 centimeter, 5 millimeters. Do you agree?
That's
with
when
that?
you're doing a straight line measurement, like on a board or something there, Bev.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a graded staff, isn't it? In a vertical position. You're just looking through some crosshairs. The rod is vertical, and the crosshairs in the auto level, they're horizontal, right?
How far out do you want to go?
This is 30 meters. We're taking it.
Okay,
Jeff's
30 meters.
maximum.
All right. I'll give you what it is. Hang on here just a second.
You'll give me what? The maximum, the error margin.
Okay, yeah. The error that you're going to pick up in, let's see, and that's in meters. So we want to go to millimeters.
We're particularly
So
talking
you're
about
going to pick up
the
in
staff.
30 meters.
Just listen.
Thir-
Just listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to say this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In 30 meters, the amount of curvature that you can pick up.
No, George, I think you've mistaken, mate.
Yeah,
No,
never mind. There's no point.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, Bev, you don't want to learn. We got it. Okay.
No,
Let's move on.
No, he wasn't going to come up with anything like your 5 millimeters.
Yeah,
that you
because
were talking
because
about.
you
5
you
millimeters
got
is not what
confused.
you're going to pick up. You're not going to pick up 5 millimeters in 30
I know.
In 30
I know
meters,
that.
you're going to pick up 0.07 millimeters,
This go-
about a tenth of a millimeter. A little bit less than a tenth of a millimeter is the error that you'll pick up due to Earth's
Okay,
curvature
right. Yeah,
in
but
30
you-
meters.
Yeah, George, you're not getting what McToons was saying.
Yeah.
Well,
Here's
then
what I
state
was
it
saying.
clearly.
I was being very clear when measuring just a length, like on a board. Because I'm starting at the beginning, because you miss these things once they start getting more complicated, you get all confused. When you use just like a tape measure or a ruler that has markings at every millimeter, that ruler can measure length to 1/2 of a millimeter margin of error. Okay. Now, when you're talking about doing survey work at 30 meters out, there's a whole bunch of other things that you need to calculate to get your margin of error. Okay. So
Yeah, but
they're
I was
not
saying
they're not directly
my
analogous.
My staff is only graded by the centimeter. Actually, I've got one that's graded at the 0.5 centimeter. But those ones that are graded at the centimetre won't mean that the error is 5 millimeters just because of the grading on the staff.
Right,
That's
you
what I
have to
was
have
saying.
a finer. You have to have finer graduations on your staff if you're going to do what you're trying to do in 30 millimeters. I mean, you can't. That's much too gross in order to make any sort of measurements on that staff. What you'd probably do is maybe put a piece of paper on that staff and make a mark with a fine pen or a pencil, and then go with that. I mean, you can't go with the markings on your staff to do leveling at distances of 30 millimeters. I mean, only if you're only trying to get within a centimeter, but with what you're trying to do in splitting
30
hairs and
30
stuff, you're going to
meters,
have to
George.
have much finer graduations than any of your standard surveying staffs.
Okay. So we were talking about my test, George, and we were talking
So,
about
yeah, it's a good
establishing
question.
a horizontal, right?
What's the margin of error on your auto level, considering things like the have you
I
you
can
know,
address that, McToon.
yeah. So
I use auto levels.
yeah. So what model do you have there, Bev?
Oh, Bev. Okay.
Bev has a particular one that he owns,
Yeah.
and likes to
Which one is it?
It's the AL32.
What manufacturer?
Dayton.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that one.
Oh, yeah. Probably been shown it before, right? Did George send you the email? Sorry, not George. Jeff.
George, do you think George sent George an email? John.
No.
Yeah, John was the one that sent an email.
No,
to
I was
you when
looking
I
at
showed it on
purchasing.
Twitter.
I was looking at purchasing one of those several months ago, but then
From the UK.
I determined that the optics are substandard on that.
From the
particular
UK.
model because
You were going to buy it from the UK, were you, George?
Yeah, yes, I was going to have Rumpus send it to me.
Oh, right.
But
And
I
you say,
decided
"What's up with
after
it?"
looking at it that it's much too cheap for what they claim it to be, that the optics are a bit substandard on the thing. It only has a 40 millimeter aperture, and to do a 32x auto level with a 40 millimeter aperture means that the image is going to be too dark to do what I want to do.
Okay. So what do you want to do with it?
Well, I want to be able to sight out. I was hoping to get something that might be equivalent to the Topcon ATG2 that I'm using, which is a 32X. I wanted a second one, but not spend as much money. But turns out if you want quality, you got to spend
So
money.
what do you want to do with it, George, was the question. What is it?
Well, I
that
wanted to
you're
get
after
lighter
doing?
images. I wanted to get lighter images than what I've been getting taken out of the auto levels that I use. The images tend to be a bit dark when I'm sighting out at 6 miles. And
You sight
but I
6
decided I
miles
don't
with an
need
auto
I don't
level.
need an auto level to do what I want to do. I just purchased a new Topcon GTS 3B, which is a 30 power theodolite, which is going to be much better than much more accurate. Well, not much more accurate, but will give me better images and give me self-correction that I can do each time I bring it out that you can't do with an auto level. An auto level, you have to calibrate it and hope it stays in calibration, whereas with the theodolite, you can self-calibrate it every time you bring it out into the field. So I'm going to be using a 1 arcsecond theodolite from now on rather than using an auto level.
So, George, when I call this surveying company up tomorrow to ask them about this level, what is it that you should think I should tell them about the substandard thing? Because they said to me it was the most accurate level they had for establishing a horizontal.
Yeah, well,
Like they said, George, it's within 1 millimeter over a 1 kilometer double run. Now, do you not think that's accurate enough or something?
Well, that's different than talking about setting accuracy. Setting accuracy, you do not get 1 millimeter sighting
it's a
1
tool
kilometer.
for doing a job, right? That accuracy of 1 millimeter over a 1 kilometer double run is the accuracy it is to do the job it is determined to do.
Yes, that's pretty
Okay.
standard. That's pretty standard for a 1 arcsecond auto level. It'll do the
For
job.
a 32
you, yeah.
times scope auto level, yeah. For establishing a horizontal plane of reference, right, George?
At your point of where you set it up, yes, you can
Right.
set up a horizontal plane, but you cannot. Well, I'd have to see how far out do you want to establish that horizontal plane?
Over a mile, George. We want
You can't
3
do it.
points on the
can't
same
do it.
horizontal over 1 mile.
And how do you how are you proposing to do that?
To get surveyors to
He's
come
gonna
and
he's gonna
establish
hire
a
a professional
horizontal-
surveyor.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, how do you propose that they're going to do that? A surveyor is going to tell you to go take
No,
a
no,
hike.
like,
You're
you're-
going to
you're
try
the
to
one
get a
that's-
horizontal plane established over 1 mile.
They're going to tell us to what, George?
Take a hike.
Do you say they can't do it or what?
Not the way that I've heard you proposing how you want it done.
I just want them to establish a horizontal over 1 mile.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, they could bring a theodolite, a very accurate theodolite, and establish a horizontal plane over 1 mile. It's going to cost you a pretty penny to do that because that's probably going to take a good afternoon to set up and do.
Just an afternoon with a
Probably.
theodolite.
Yeah, an afternoon, maybe a day. I don't know. It just depends upon the terrain that you're setting this on.
Okay. How much would you charge for doing that?
I don't know. I don't charge professionally for this sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you do it.
so
you
Bev,
I don't
when-
hire out. I don't
Bev,
hire
when you-
out. I'm not a
when you call them, they'll answer that question, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
say,
they will.
I want
Yeah,
you to do
yeah, they-
this, and what's
Yeah, yeah.
going to be the fee, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised you've done none of this background work at all yet. You've been talking for
Actually,
a long time about
McDoon-
doing this.
I
You
have worked
assume a
with
lot.
surveyors, and my guess would be that you're probably looking at $1,500 to probably $2,000 for the day to do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So
So
they could definitely do it, right, George?
Yes, they could definitely do it.
Okay. Now, have you heard Jesse Kozlowski say that the water level will drop away from horizontal at a certain rate? You know, he
I
comes
mean,
out with
water
some
level,
numbers.
like filling a garden hose full of water and trying to look at the level of the water on
that's
both ends.
yeah, that's a water level, right?
Yeah, okay. So say you have 2 points. You have a
Yeah, we've
starting
got 3
point A,
points. We've
you have
just
the
got
end.
3 points.
Well, let's just first address 2 points.
Okay.
If you
Which
have,
ones are these? The 2 outside points.
yeah, the
Okay.
end points of your water level, of
Yeah,
your
1
garden,
mile.
whatever filled with water. You have point A and you have point B. All right, you're
Yeah.
at point A. You set
Can
your
you see my Can you see my picture there up on the screen? Because there's
Barely.
like a water level there. It's point A, B, and C.
Okay, so what's your question?
Well, you're trying to say about point A and point B and point C. They're on that drawing, right?
Well, I can't make it out to it. So
Can you not?
B is in the middle.
Yep.
All
And
right.
that's 1 mile. And then the purple one. Can you see the
Yeah.
purple?
No, I see your diagram. No, that's
Okay.
perfectly fine for a flat Earth, but that's not the way it's going to end up being. On
Okay.
a
So
curved
what
Earth. I
what
mean,
would be
the level-
different?
yeah, the water levels will all be the same, but it's not going to prove anything for you.
We'd be on a horizontal plane. It will prove that.
No,
All
it
of
doesn't
the-
prove. No. The result will be the same whether you're on a horizontal
Isn't
plane
that
or
not
on
a
Sure.
geometric proof, right?
No, it's not geometric proof. You don't get it. That test that you have outlined there in that diagram, those
Yep.
water levels will all be at the same height. The ones in the middle will all
Well,
agree
yeah,
with
we'll
one
be
another,
checking them
whether-
against the horizontal, right? We've just
Why
established.
are you so rude? Why are you
A,
so rude?
B, and
You're always
C.
this way. This is why I have
Yeah.
'Cause
difficulty.
you-
Well, he's a
talking to you.
typical-
Getting what we've
It's a
just
typical
talked
flat
about.
earther. They don't understand things, and then they
Did
want
you
to
just
assert.
call me a flat earther when I've
Yeah,
just said?
yeah, you are a
many
flat earther.
times.
Yeah, you are a flat earther.
Many
Yeah.
times.
So all
that
flat
there
earthers
is
have this
topography.
this
That's
problem
not
that
flat.
they're rude because
not
they don't
two-dimensional, it's
understand these things, and they just want they have this
it's a
belief
distance
that they
above,
want to they want
right?
to desperately
Distance above
prove to be true,
the
but they
datum.
can't. So all right. flat earther Bev. So hold on,
that's
go
very
ahead,
childish
George.
Tunes, right?
ahead,
Very,
George.
very childish.
I don't, McToon, I don't use these, this type of format. Is there a way for me? Okay, I see a screen share. If you want, I could screen share something, but just real quick, just trying to do this in words, is the diagram that Bev has there. Is there some way of blowing that up so we can all see it in detail?
Well, not easily.
Okay.
I mean, Bev could share his screen.
It's not my screen, it's my camera.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. So,
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well, hopefully people can see what he has there. Is he has a set of 3 water levels. There's one that goes, say, from the starting point A to the middle. Then from the middle, we'll call that point B. He's got another one going from B over to C at the end of the run.
The purple one's
he
the
has
same.
an overall water level that goes from A to Z.
Yeah, the purple one's all the same body.
Yeah.
And then there's a red one and a blue one that check the outside to the center. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Now, you're going to fill these tubes, hoses, or whatever you have there with water. And you're going to fill them so that the water level at A, the one going from A to B, is at the same height as the one going from A to C. And then you're going to go to the middle. You're going to fill the level at B so that its height agrees with the water level that goes from A to B. And then you have a riser in the middle of the one that goes from A to C, and you're going to fill it so that the riser...
They're all the same. That's one body. That purple one's one water level, right? One body of water on the purple, and then there's one body of water in the red.
I see
one
that.
body on the blue.
That's what I was describing.
Yep.
Okay, now, what I have been trying to tell you for months is when you get the levels, the water heights, which you call the level.
So you've been trying to tell me for
tubes
months,
all
George.
set
Just
up.
listen.
Well,
Never
you
talked,
shut up,
George.
Bev.
Just
Jesus,
listen.
let me
Listen,
finish.
Bev.
No, he's just said he's been trying to tell me for months.
Shh.
I haven't talked to George about this. That's a lie, George.
No, we've had a discussion about this.
You
already.
haven't
But
changed
we've
this
had
goofy
this
thing
for
forever.
Okay. Not a month.
All right, Bev. We've
Okay.
never had this discussion. We've never had this discussion. Okay, this
We've
is the
had
first
this
time.
discussion
All right,
once.
Bev. You're
you
right.
went on
You're
a
right,
meltdown,
Bev. Hey,
George.
I concede, Bev. You're right. I was wrong. This is the first time we've ever discussed this. Okay, let's move on. Now, you're going to adjust the heights of the water level of the waters in these hoses so that they're at they match
No, we're
at
just going
end
to fill
A.
them up.
This, what should take 2 minutes is going to take an hour here with Bev.
Yeah.
I can tell.
All right, Bev, stop talking. If you can't be an adult and let him finish his point, I'll mute you so that he can do that. But I'd rather not have to treat you like that much of a child.
All right. So you can fill the tubes up so that you can see the water levels, the heights in these riser tubes matching with one another. And Bev is claiming that after this is said and done, that if you go to the middle, you're going to see that all the water heights are going to match. All the water heights at C are going to match, and at A are going to match. Hence, the Earth. This proves geometrically that the Earth is flat. And
No, the water
Now-
level is horizontal, George. I've never claimed that. That
Okay,
flat
it's
word that you keep
horizontal.
using, right? I don't use it.
all right.
Actually, you do, Bev.
Where?
You do. Where? All right,
Where?
I'll show you. Just a second.
You dig like an old
But
tweet.
for a long story short, Bev,
Yeah.
is on a curved Earth, a spherical Earth, the same thing will happen. So you cannot conclude.
How can you have a straight line?
Well, see, this is the problem that we've
Yeah,
always
he-
been faced with: is you don't understand gravitational equal potentials. That the water
No,
levels
it's just-
all seek the same level on a
It'd be the
gravitational.
same horizontal,
potential.
though, George. Shared straight line.
Okay. Now, if you do this on a surveying, after you've had a surveyor establish a straight tangent line or your horizontal line, and you set your tubes up and you fill them, that will not happen.
That won't
That
happen.
is the issue. No, it will not happen. Those water levels will not be the same at point C and point B as they are at A. They will not match.
Okay, so like you've made your prediction, right?
Yep.
That's the test. We get the horizontal set. Then
You've been claiming you're going to be doing this for months. Why don't you go out and do it? Quit jawing about it. Get up off the couch and do it.
He hasn't even done the footwork to find out how much it might cost to have a professional do this. But Bev, I am showing you.
Sorry, McToons. Sorry, what was that you say?
I am showing you on the screen right here.
Footwork.
Where you said it was flat. You said the Earth
March
is flat.
13th, 2019.
So now you said you never said the Earth is flat. And here it is. You have said the Earth is flat.
No, look. See, can you see above it? But water is level, right? Yes. And flat.
No, level. But
level is a curve. Yeah, level is a curve as measured. It's been measured.
Look,
I will make a prediction
level, right?
here for you,
yes,
Bev.
and flat. So where are you saying that? What does that flat in that sentence mean?
Here's the deal, Bev. Bev, you claimed that you never said the Earth is flat, and I'm showing you the tweet.
Flat? The water.
Look at the picture. Look at the picture where is a red background with white text that says the Earth is flat. That's your picture in your tweet. You said
just a meme.
Earth is flat.
Water flat.
Hey, McToon?
Yes.
I want to make a prediction for Bev here. I'll tell you, Bev, if you take your water levels, those three water levels, set them up as you did, and you set them up so that the risers are all matched along a straight line, horizontal.
We'll get the surveyors to do that horizontal.
You have a surveyor set up that horizontal line, and you set your risers up, and you fill the tubes at point A. When you get to point B, you'll find that the water levels will be below, a little bit below the tangent line or your horizontal line, and when you go out to C, it'll be even lower more.
Brilliant. That's exactly what Jesse Kozlowski said.
Okay,
right?
Well, then we're in agreement.
All right, well, let's go to C, right? And then look at the water level.
Perform the test. You can talk about it all you want. Until you do the test, you don't know what
when we go to C, what happens with the water level?
I'm telling you, the blue and the purple there at C will be below, as in lower.
Okay,
there will be a visible gap between the horizontal and the height of the water. They will not coincide with one another.
When you get to C and you are standing at C, what is A?
A is where whatever you put.
So that would be higher then, would it? Still?
No, not higher. No, not higher.
So what would happen then?
If you set your horizontal line at A.
No, you go all the way to C and then you go back to close your loop. When you are surveying,
no, we're not talking about closing a loop or surveying. We're talking about your water level. I'm just telling you.
We're talking about the surveyors that have set the horizontal. They've had to close their loop in order to get that.
Why do you think you get to tell surveyors how to do their job?
You just let the surveyors set a horizontal line for you that goes out from A. Once that's done, okay? Now you have a horizontal line that starts at A and goes outward towards C.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
saying
so
towards C. I'm not saying it's going to coincide with C. Bev, will you please shut up a moment?
Would it
My
be horizontal?
Gosh, you are so rude.
C?
Bev,
you're always rude.
Shush.
This is why people don't like.
Come on, Bev. Be an adult. Shut the mouth. Listen with your ears. All right, go, George.
All right, thank you. Now you're going to have a surveyor. We'll go through it one more time. You're going to have a surveyor set his equipment up at A and establish and set a horizontal line for you that's going to extend way out to sea or past sea.
And it would be horizontal when it got to sea.
And it will be
wouldn't it?
horizontal. That's what I just said. He's going to
Brilliant.
set a horizontal line from you beginning at A and going out towards C. All right, now you set up your water levels. You fill the pipes up back at A so that the heights of the water at A coincides with the horizontal line that the surveyor set for you. Okay, now you've got your pipes all filled. The heights of the water at A agrees with the horizontal line
15
established by the
15
surveyor.
centimeters
Now,
there.
the claim is, you're
Right,
claiming that
6
by the time
inches.
you get to C, that those water levels are also going to coincide with the horizontal. And I say they will not. I say they will be lower, and the amount that they will be lower will agree with 8 inches per mile squared. So you go out a mile, those water levels in that pipe will be below the horizontal line set by the surveyors by 8 inches.
Okay, so when you come here though, right, and this horizontal line is still there, right, and the water you say is dropped away from the horizontal.
Yep.
This water over here, but
Will
you're
still-
over here now, right? Where
Right.
would that be?
Horizontal
That
is
was
to
good.
one point. Horizontal is just a reference at
but
one
that-
point.
It's already established there is one horizontal that goes all the way here.
No,
So
the
it's still
horizontals.
horizontal here. That's
But
we
what
said.
at
So
what
to the-
point? At what point is that horizontal established? Horizontal is only good for one point at A, right? The horizontal is
Still
at A.
horizontal here though. I did check. Because
Yeah,
it's a
so-
horizontal line.
So now if you told the surveyors, I want you to establish a horizontal, they're going to need to know which point. You're going to say point A, right?
You
Now,
reckon?
if you want them, well, you could pick B or C, right? But now if you wanted, you could say, I
No, but
want
do
you
reckon
to
that's
also,
what they'd say?
they also could, at your discretion, establish a horizontal at point C. Now, that's going to establish different horizontals because there's different points. So,
I don't go there, McToon. He doesn't
yeah.
get that.
Oh, and it's too much. So we do need to
watch
get
out,
going
watch
here.
out. He's warning you, Toons. He's
Yeah.
warning you.
All right.
Dodgy
So
territory there.
I'm going to ask you. WS is wondering, Bev, what's the drop over 100 meters on the globe?
On whose globe?
On the globe, that is the one that's been measured and it's been established for thousands of years.
Which
What
which
is
globe?
the drop at 100
Like
meters?
that
If
one
you
behind
don't,
you?
if you can't calculate it, just say
You've
you
got
can't
two
do the
behind
math.
Your head.
Yeah, that's
Two
not what we're.
behind your head. That globe.
Bev, if you
100
can't
meters
understand
on that
it,
globe.
if you can't understand it, just deflect again.
I'm asking you.
McToon,
Okay,
globe?
he can't.
the
He
drop
can't
at
understand
100
it.
meters, McToon, the drop at 100 meters is 0.78 millimeters.
The drop of the level
There you
away
go.
from the horizontal, or the drop of the horizontal.
The drop of level away from the horizontal. Yeah, there you go. So Saeed Ahmed is wondering, or is saying, Bev's degree must be in interrupting debaters and not letting them answer questions he asks, right? That would be. I don't know if they, what
Have you
university
had debaters
offers.
on here?
What offers that?
I thought this
well,
was just a chat.
yeah. I mean, it's there. It's not a debate. We just say debate as kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. So digital
Oh, it's
demonic.
more entertainment then, right?
That's what I typically mark them as entertainment, sometimes education. But anyway, digital demonic Davros says, do I need to come in there and yell at Bev? No.
Does he
there's
dare
enough.
come in?
Does he?
But Bev,
well, he would.
the short of it,
I
the
think
short
I'm here.
version here is, Bev, I encourage you to go and do your test. Get it done, and you
Brilliant.
will find that if you have a surveyor set you a horizontal line beginning at A,
Yeah.
start at A,
All the way
and
across.
you do your what? Yes, and you fill your tubes with water,
Yep.
and back at A, if the height of the water is at the same height as the horizontal line that they set up, you want the tops of those water heights
What, like a
your
level.
at A to agree with your horizontal line.
Yep.
Then by the time you get out to sea, there's going to be a gap between the height of the water in the tubes and your horizontal line by the amount of 8 inches, and the gap will be 2 inches.
George, you're
Okay,
not a
so-
surveyor. What are you even doing here, man?
exponential.
That's
So
easy.
as we
That's
went
easy.
at George,
It's not
look at
easy
me,
math.
Cleary, we were
Goes as
just
the
on our
square
way
of the
back.
distance.
We were just on our way back, George.
It goes as the square of the distance. So if
On the
you
way
drop
back,
back by half
What
the
happens to
drop
the
distance-
water, George? What happens to the water level on the way back?
What do you mean on the way back?
Well, you've got a
Nothing's
horizontal
changed. No,
set
no.
here.
Listen, Bev. Listen a minute.
Yeah.
He said all you do is you set your horizontal line that goes out to a mile.
Yeah, like this
All right.
one here.
All right. You fill your tubes
Like,
with water.
to
You have
level.
the top of the water levels on the
Yeah,
tubes
like here.
be at
Imagine
A.
it's filled up
Then
there.
you don't have to worry
And this
about
one's
anything
filled up
else.
here as
All
well.
you do is, oh my God. Why
Bev.
can't one speak with you on a show, Bev? Why are you so damn rude all the time?
Sorry, George.
Why are you so damn rude? Is the question to you, Bev?
Why? I don't consider myself rude. Why? What do you consider rude?
I think you are a
Demeaning
good
people who
yeah.
are carers.
All right.
I think that's pretty rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are these insults all about? All this name calling,
So-
Nick Toon, with this, you're a flat earther. You know, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I guess when
Cleary-
you guys start losing.
Cleary, he is a flat earther.
No, what
He
is
has-
it?
I've
Define
said
your
multiple
concept.
times.
He has
I am
declared
not.
it.
Define your concept of flat Earth. Can you tell me what your concept of flat Earth is?
That would be that the overall shape of the Earth being flat.
What Earth? The ground?
Yeah, it's you play semantics games, I guess. You learn from Bev, huh?
No. I'm asking you, what is your concept of flat Earth? The overall Earth being flat.
The flying space pizza idea.
Flying space pizza. See, now
Yeah.
that's why you think it's silly, because you think it's a flying space pizza.
I
in
say
reality-
that. I say that to be silly, but yeah, the idea is silly because you've not got any measurements to support your position.
Actually, every single measurement ever taken is of a horizontal plane based on sea level, and I guess that's why the Maine Surveyor ran away. But yeah, you're not measuring curve, are you?
Yes, you
Are
can
you
measure
measuring curve?
You absolutely can measure curve. Yeah.
Who
and
has
you
measured
can
curve?
and you can see that the Maine Surveyor did that at in several of his
He's doing
videos.
reciprocal leveling, and he's trying to infer that he's measuring curvature, talking
well,
about tilt, trying to confuse
Tell you what,
people.
I'll show you. I'll show everybody here exactly because let's see, he's got a nice one
Jesse did
there.
the same thing, talking about tilt. Never said curvature, but everybody out there is going, "Oh my God, they measured tilt. We live on a ball." No. They're tricking you.
Yeah.
And they tricked George and had
So-
him out there on the lake shooting 6 miles across, thinking
So
he's measuring
how
curvature.
how would you measure curve?
You
That's
can't.
a damn good question.
Yeah, well, Bev,
Ask
when you say
George.
Bev, when you say you can't, you are presuming something. So now, if it were
You
curved,
measure.
how would you measure
point
it?
to point distance. Toon,
Point to point
and so that's-
distance.
Yeah.
Distance.
Well, you measure point to point.
What do you mean point to point distance?
Well,
You said that's what
Called
you said.
differential leveling.
if you what
Yeah,
what
leveling.
sort of leveling are you
leveling
doing?
is not.
What do you
yeah.
know about leveling?
So one way would be to see if at a distance the horizon is at the same plane as
What is
your
that, optical effects?
See
How
this,
far
George?
away is
Yeah.
that?
See this, right? See this. What do you think this is? A distance, right? You
that's
measure a distance on this.
that's an elevation. Yes, that's elevation.
Elevation.
Yes.
So you measured deviation from the horizontal, and that's called
Yes.
elevation.
So
where's
here-
the curvature?
So the curve. Well, if Bev ever does this thing that he's been refusing to do forever, and
Sorry?
if he gets a professional
Refusing.
surveyor, if he ever gets a
Refuse.
surveyor to do it, hey,
Refusing.
shh,
Who are you?
Bev, I'm sorry. Did the middle of my sentence
you're
interrupt
just
the beginning
in
of
the middle
yours?
Of lying about
Bev,
something again.
If you ever decide to do it, because you won't do it, I know you won't, but that's fine. You won't ever get a professional surveyor to go and establish a horizontal, as you say.
Yeah.
So-
the Maine Surveyor said you can do that. George
No, I
told
think
me twice.
he's
that
threatening
you
to
can.
call all of the surveyors
he's not
around
even
the
a surveyor.
area, so we can't.
I'm telling you that I don't believe you will ever get
Believe.
a professional surveyor to do it. Now,
Okay.
prove me wrong.
Why-
Please,
why-
please
why
show
would you-
that I'm wrong,
Why would you
and
think
actually
you can't
go
get a professional surveyor
and
to establish
hire a professional
points
surveyor?
on a horizontal? Why do you not
Surveyors,
think that possible?
Please,
surveyors
please prove me
survey.
wrong.
You don't think surveyors can do their job?
I think they can, but I don't think Bev ever will. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you
He's
don't worry
never
about
going to
Bev.
do it.
Yeah,
He's
he'll just
never
do
going to
but
do it.
He wants
So-
to make sure you guys understand that there's going to be professional surveyors out there, so you guys don't whine and complain that he did it wrong.
Yep. So anyway, let's see. I do need to get moving here. I have another debate later today, and I got some family
debate.
stuff here. So yeah, I
Hey,
got a
I'm sorry
guy.
I'm late, Nick, too, and I got stuck at work in the rain, and anyway, here
That's
I am.
okay.
Finally. Sorry.
That's okay. We got George to take in. So take up the spot here for the main survey. He told me yesterday he had only an hour, and you could tell his Wi-Fi, not his Wi-Fi. He was on cellular the whole time. I think he was traveling, and then started to get to a bad signal there. So.
Man, I couldn't get Zoom to work on my phone. I use Discord all day long, but I couldn't get Zoom to work.
Yeah. So we do have a couple more questions here, if you don't mind. Tim Pryor says Bev will never find his soulmate unless there's somebody out there with the name horizontal or level. Bev has a soulmate. Bev, right?
Pretty childish of whoever said that, right?
That was Tim Pryor.
Wow, Tim.
So
How much did he give you to do that?
that was
Say that?
5 simoleons.
Wow, what's that?
Yeah.
Do you know
Money
what that
well
is?
spent.
Simoleons. So Jess says, miles, feet, dollars. Is Bev really in the UK?
I would like yes. Like,
Okay.
Wow. how
Hey,
much
we
did
got
he-
a
how much did
straight
he
answer
pay
for that. Lael is
Wow,
here.
Did he seriously get to pay you to ask?
Yes, she did.
Wow. Nice.
Jess, that's and she's lost the Ika-G. It's gone. The Ika-G has gone. So Lael is here, says, Toon, can you ask Jeff my prior super chat before he leaves? And we missed it. That was the one that that George answered.
Oh dear.
So
McDoon,
yes.
I just quickly put something up in Paint, and I can screen share. It's a very simple
Oh,
little
yeah.
diagram. I'll explain to everybody what's going to happen, and this will just take a minute or two.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's see here. Okay. You can tell me when the screen is coming through. I just
Yep.
did a screen share. Is
I
it
see
not
it
coming
there.
through?
Yep, we got it.
All right. Top, we have A and we have C. The blue shows the water level. All right. Bev is going to have a surveyor set out a horizontal tangent line or a horizontal line going from A to C. That's the black mark. Okay.
Yeah.
That's our horizontal. Now, Bev is going to take this water level, fill it up so that the top of the water level coincides with the horizontal line at A. And then he expects to go out to C and see that the water level at C, in that water level, the water itself will agree with the horizontal tangent. That's his claim. Our claim is what's going to really happen is
Wow.
that
Whoa, Judge.
No,
Can you
shut
just
up.
say,
Shut
don't
Be
say
quiet.
our claim.
Bev, be quiet.
All
you
right, he's
please?
let him speak for everyone then. Go on.
All right. So for those of us that understand that the earth is curved, this is what's actually going to happen. You're going to have your water level go from A to C. You're going to fill it up at A so it agrees with the horizontal tangent or the horizontal line. And then the water will seek its own level so that the height of the water pipe at A, the water at the top of the pipe is going to be at the same height at C above the curvature of the earth, and there will be a gap between the height of the water at C and the horizontal line,
Hey,
and
George,
that
what do
amount will be 8 inches in a mile. If you
8
go
inches?
back to point B, it will be 2 inches. to the point where you get to A, that there won't be any gap. So the further you go out from
That's
A
fantastic,
towards
George.
C, the more of a gap there will be between the top of the water on the water level and the
So George,
horizontal
when it
line.
looks like your first drawing, when it looks like that, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I'll concede. I'll say the Earth is flat. And I'll scream from the rooftops.
There we
The Earth
go.
won't be flat though, George. It won't make the Earth flat. There will still be mountains and valleys.
Yes. We get it.
It will just make
we get
level horizontal,
that.
right?
Okay, I'll
admit that?
declare that the Earth is not a spherical planet. How's
You-
that?
Declare that level is horizontal, right? Because that's what the test is, right? It's a test to show that level
Yeah,
is horizontal.
it's simple.
All right, fine. If you want to define it that way, fine. Okay.
Thank you. You know, like that's one of the worst logical fallacies I've ever seen in my life, and I tried to stop you, because I'm sure there's going to be lots of people that think it's crazy, right?
All right, Bev. I'd love to see.
Drop in.
I'd love to see what happens when you call them up and see what I'm all for doing that.
Yeah. Why are you showing that thing that Casey's done, where she's bent?
So that is the prediction.
Is that what you imagine?
That is the globe prediction. That is the globe
Are you
prediction.
sure? Have you
I am-
seen all of those
I'm-
at different water levels?
I'm sure that is the globe
Have
prediction.
you seen that those are water levels?
I will
All the
clarify.
different colours.
I will clarify again. I am sure that is the globe prediction.
Okay, brilliant. So when
So-
that doesn't happen, and we find out, will you be the same as George? Will you say, "Wow,
Absolutely.
fantastic"?
Great guys, good talking to you.
Yeah.
Glober Mom is wondering who's FTFE. Isn't he Batman?
What's that mean?
Oh, he was on here last week as Batman. I mean, Batman was on here not as FTFE. Don't worry. These are not the droids you're looking for.
That I think that's Global Mom that had the a titty comparison with like the flat Earth. Is it?
Oh, so you're gonna go with the all right.
No,
JL Warren.
She sent me a tweet asking me to compare them.
Okay. JL Warren is wondering, hey Bev, I'd like to understand what personal belief is justified by your need for the Earth to be flat. What is your personal
Listen,
belief
I'll say
that
it again.
makes you need it to be flat?
I will say it again. I do not think that the Earth is flat. I think
Yes,
surveying
yes.
actually shows through topography that it is not flat, because flat is a two-dimensional surface.
Yes.
It's,
So
it's obviously not.
when we say flat, as just a common parlance way of not saying lots and lots of words, when we say Earth is flat or flat earther, we do mean that you think horizontal is level. So just take that
Well,
when
no,
we
there's a
say flat
correlation
Earth
with the there's a
and
correlation with
drop that in.
there's
Okay,
a correlation
Okay,
with
well,
the
substitution.
space pizza and all those silly
I'll
little
take that.
images out there. You know, that's what people say about a flat Earth.
Yeah, it's just said that level being horizontal. If you think that, then you're a flat earther, right?
That
That's-
to
that's how
me,
you
when I
interpret
say flat earther, I'm okay with your personal definition of that being that you think that level is horizontal. So substitute that in. We're just using those words because we need some words for common parlance that people can all generally use without being super wordy
You
for
need
it,
to
right?
try and demean us by labeling us, with
Calling you a
something,
flat earther,
and
you
are
should
using
is not
level
is
being
now when
horizontal.
yeah,
in
I'm
order
not going to say
label us with something.
I'm not going to
we
say
we're not.
you're a level. I'm not going to say you're a level is horizontal earther. I'm just going to say flat earther. Okay, and so every time you hear me say flat earther, substitute in what you think you are. Okay.
But see, you guys try to say, you know, these guys are just stupid flat earthers. Before I got on here, I heard you guys saying that. I was like, you know what? You know, somebody one time tweeted Australia doesn't exist, and a silly little thing somebody may have said, and you try to put that on a person you label as a flat earther, that they said all of these things that all of these thousands of people may have said at one time. That's what you guys want to label that person with, all that baggage. So it's not
All
about
right.
that.
How about just call them non-globers?
Yeah, we say globe deniers is that's another way. So I think that's a good enough
You can just
term.
call yourself a globe lover. A globe
Sure,
model lover. Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
yeah.
McToon, just as an aside, somebody in chat was asking what my shirt says. It's a joke. It says "Make Donald Trump again." It was a shirt given to me during the last election. And I didn't realize I had it on.
Hey, nice shirt, Bev. What does that say? MEUK on Discord on the level.
There you go. So what is your personal belief that requires you that gives you the need, Bev, to think that level is horizontal?
Well, somebody accused me of being a child abuser for thinking.
All right,
that level
I'm
was
asking
horizontal.
again. I'll ask again, and maybe you can answer this question instead of a different question. What Jail Warren would like to understand what personal belief is justified by your need for level to be horizontal.
A belief. Sorry, say that again. Go on, break it down. What personal belief do I need to hold?
Yeah, what personal belief is justified by your need for level to be horizontal?
I don't have any belief that is justified for any need for level to be level just is horizontal, right?
Yeah, just reality.
That's just
Hey,
quite a
hey,
plain
Bev.
concept. Right, yeah.
Surfacto asks in the chat, and this is good. This is tit for tat. Suppose you do the test and it comes out as I predicted. What would you do?
Sorry?
Well, are you willing to make a declaration that you're going to give up that this flat is horizontal?
Yeah, right. If there is a measured drop of the water level that defies all known logic and geometry, right? If that happens,
it matches
I
geometry.
Will be
I love that.
Go ahead.
millionaire, because I will be a convert, and I will be the one globe. I would know, right, that there is a tilt.
Well, time to go and do it, Bev. Time to go and do it.
That sounds exciting.
Time to stop jawing about it and go do it.
Fantastic. So
Bev,
that's your advice, right? Let's do this test.
Yeah, Bev, call
You've
them
heard it
tomorrow.
here, everybody. Bev,
I'll tweet you here in a couple days to see how you're doing. I'm excited for this. I'm with you.
Actually,
so in a couple days,
calling up the surveying the company
excellent
that I got the level from, and like recommending what George says to them, and just making sure that the tool is capable of establishing a horizontal, right?
Well, wait,
George,
hold on.
it's not.
Are
right?
you going to use? You're going to use this
George,
auto level,
George
or are you going to
casted doubt
hire?
over
Hold on. Are you going to hire a professional surveyor, or are you going to do it yourself? Because you're not a professional surveyor. So which one is it going to be? You doing it with not as a not professional surveyor, or a professional surveyor doing it?
Can I not do it first or after, or at the same time? Can I?
Well, you have said.
Am I not allowed to do it ever?
You have said.
Can I not make
that
sure
you were
that
going
the
to
tool
have
I've
them do
got
it?
is good enough to do the job?
Yes, you can follow and check the professional surveyor, but none of us, and I will say this again, none of us will depend on your competency to establish a horizontal.
Why would you say that, George? Because could you do it, George?
Hire a professional surveyor.
Yes,
hire a professional surveyor.
George could do it. George could do it. He's not a professional surveyor.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll go with this. If George did it, if George was the surveyor that did
I do
the horizontal
have qualifications in surveying,
yeah,
right?
you're not. You're not.
What do you mean no?
So
yeah, I do.
You took a test. You took a GCSE test.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bev. If you're going to do it, you
want to try asking me the full thing, right? Because I did a 2-year course.
George, I'll tell you what, Bev. If you're going to do it,
chance to put
you
another
document
test,
exactly
right?
what you've done. You document by
Have
videoing.
George, tell him what your qualifications are in surveying.
No, let's not go there.
Not even a beginner one.
I'm not
Bev,
the one
like
doing
a really basic.
Bev, this is
the one doing
it's
the
your
test.
test, Bev.
All I'm saying, this is your test,
like
Bev.
an
You document
elementary
it,
one.
You film it. You give us video to
Year
show us how
7.
you're establishing the horizontal, and then we will review it to see if.
Did you not even get a high school
determine whether or
surveying
not you've done it
certificate?
competently? That's all.
What about you, McToon?
I'm not
Did you do
taking
it?
your word for it that you established a true horizontal. I just can't take your word for it. I've
Okay,
seen
so
you in
the
action
tool-
before.
I know you've said that the tool can't establish the tool, so I'm going to call them up and make sure that the tool can establish a horizontal plane of reference, right?
Yeah, there are some globe lovers who have said that they would like to come and participate and be there, so that later on they're not coming back and second
Well, I'll
guessing
tell you
because
what,
they're
I'll
actually gonna be
make you
there.
an offer. You do a GoFundMe or whatever, and you pay for half the trip, and I will take up the other half
George,
of the
I'm
money
not
to come to
paying for you
UK
to have a holiday
supervise the test.
to come and just obfuscate.
No, I'm not going to obfuscate.
All right,
I'll
so
help
so
you
we
set it up. I will
I
oversee
think-
it. I will.
I think what we've done is we've determined that you have no intention of having a professional surveyor doing it, and you're instead
I
going to
think
have
you've
your
just made that
your
up.
not professionalism
McToons,
do
you
it.
have just fabricated that completely.
Oh,
That's
so you
funny.
are
Is
going to
it
hire
scary
you are
is it
going to hire a
scary to think
professional
that-
surveyor.
to think that a surveyor could
you
establish a
could you
horizontal
just
and we
be
could
clear?
put a hose pipe next to it?
Just be
Very
clear on this,
scary,
Bev.
right?
Are you going to hire a professional surveyor to establish a level?
Yes, we've already said that. We would have
Many
to
times.
because
Okay,
there are certain
excellent.
people who would not believe that it was possible.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody
Well,
like
good.
me to be able to establish a horizontal. Now, I can
That's
check
correct,
it
yes.
afterwards, can't I? I'm
Absolutely.
allowed to check it, and I'm allowed
Yes,
to have
you
a
can
go
do all the
first as
checking
well, aren't
you
I?
want. Bev, you are allowed to do all the checking
Okay.
and supervision that you want.
Okay, so if I let's say if I establish it first, and I make these 3 marks, and then say to the surveyors, "Hey guys, can you come and check these?"
Fine.
What would you say then?
Fine.
Would that be okay? Would they be allowed to then come and check?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could even establish this and keep it as a like a benchmark that anybody could come and check against. As
Wow,
well,
that'd be
couldn't they?
great. Yep.
Sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would be willing to fund half the trip myself as long as you're willing to have some skin in the game and you get me funding to pay for half the trip. I'll come and supervise it myself, along with your professional surveyors.
So a horizontal is definitely a straight line, right, Judge?
Oh my gosh. Of
Horizontal
course.
is a plane.
Fuck
It's a
it,
plane. All right, well,
Line,
Agreement.
horizontal line, yes, it's a straight line.
Fantastic.
All right, I need to move on here. So if you guys just want to listen and stick around, or say goodbyes now, but I'm gonna read out the rest of the super chats because they came in, man. They came in,
They rock.
and
Is it profitable
it's
tonight?
it is rocking,
Is
man.
it
So
normally
I
gets, you normally get loads when we challenge you really well because you have to have this sort of thing. You have to say these things, right?
I have to say these
Let's
things.
go. Yeah. I mean, they pay you to so you. Can
Oh
say
yeah,
these
yeah.
things.
That is the social contract. They pay me to say things. Yes.
And
Now
you've
if
got
it's
a smile,
if it's
it
too
must be
rude,
good.
if it's
Pay-
too
pay
rude,
well
I
tonight.
won't say it. I won't say it. So all right, we've got now I'm terrible at your accent here. So I don't even know where you're from. I'm terrible. I don't even know where accents in England are. I have seen the movie and the play My Fair Lady, but anyway, level is not horizontal, says the Snark. There you go. So does
Okay.
Say hi.
surveying.
Hi, Snark.
So does surveying. Surveying says the same. So Jess, for the one who missed the IKG, says establish a horizontal is next in version 2. And she had tried to do an accent thing, but I can't do
It's
so.
an auto level, that.
Yep. So B-Ball for Life says Bev has been talking about this test for months. When are we going to see results? Tomorrow. He's calling them. He's calling them B-Ball for Life, and he will then know how much it will cost and whether or not they can do it.
No, I
So
said
that'll be
I'll
excellent.
call the auto level people just to make sure because
Oh,
George is
so when-
seriously questioned.
When are you going to call the
Capability.
the professional surveyors?
Oh, we've been
in your
we've been
area?
calling all sorts of surveyors all over the
All
place, right?
types of people.
But you don't have any pricing yet.
Oh yeah.
From
Oh
that.
yeah, we've got loads of different prices, yeah, from loads of different surveyors.
Oh, and so what's kind of the range? Because you
That's a
at the
huge
beginning.
range.
Yeah, yeah, massive. Like some of them 3,600.
Absolutely, yeah. Pounds or dollars?
It's like you. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right, so let's see. Svein. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if I get this wrong. Svein Arngrimson for 750 ISKs.
Wow.
I don't know what the Swedish is. That Swedish kroners.
You'll take
let's
it
let's
anyway,
go with
though, right?
let's
You
go with
get
Swedish
You'll
kroners.
get it. You'll
Bev
get
has
it
a
eventually.
yeah. Bev has a thing for horizontal. I hope his partner is more into vertical. I don't know. I don't want to know about that kind of geometry, Bev. No need.
No, I'm a carer for her, so
Okay.
she's mainly horizontal, right?
Take it. I did not want to know. All right. Oh, UTB Doug says for £5 says paying £5 for Bev to shut the hell up for a minute while the grown-ups are talking.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. I like that. This
Which way
sounds
is
pretty
it?
profitable, this, right?
It is. It's going great. Digital Demonic Davros again for 5 Australian says I am still at your disposal to yell at Bev for 15 minutes so this goes viral.
McToon, I just
yes.
want to reiterate something here. Rumpus wants me to make sure people understand this.
Rumpus?
Is that,
What?
yeah, well, he Skyped me here.
I'm making a
That-
This must be
Oh, yeah,
really
Let
important.
me just state
Oh,
this.
yeah.
It'll just take 30 seconds. Is that the water levels on your risers in your water level, those levels will all be the same whether you're on a flat earth or a globe earth. The only thing that's going to change is the gap or the distance between the top of the water in the water levels and the horizontal tangent that the surveyors are going to establish. But the water levels on each of the risers will all be the same regardless of irregardless of being on a flat earth or a globe earth. They will not change. And so you can't conclude anything from that.
That's the key.
Wait a minute,
That's
George.
the
One
key.
of them would be horizontal,
It
right?
doesn't matter. I'm not going to go
What do you
through
mean
the
it doesn't
semantics of it.
matter?
I'm just
One
telling
One of
you,
them would be
the only way-
horizontal and the other
the
one
only
would
way you're
drop
going to be
away
able to
from the
tell
horizontal.
anything is by looking at the gap between the top of
Rumpus
the water
just
in
told
the
you to
tube
say that.
and the tent and the horizontal. Yeah, that's your claim, but we're saying that's
No.
not the case.
That wasn't what you were saying before. You were saying before, like
No,
Jesse
that's not-
Kozlowski said, there is a drop from the horizontal. You even drew a drawing.
There is, yes, a drop
Right,
from the
well,
horizontal.
how is that at the same level? Because you said there
drawing.
was a drop of 2 inches and 8 inches.
See, he just doesn't get it.
No,
He really
it's
doesn't get it.
Can't be the same
he doesn't
can't
get
be
the
straight.
geometry.
and
No, you guys
curved
think
at
level.
the same time.
Geometry.
You guys think level is a curve. You think it
Uh,
wraps around like a
literally,
tire around a
that
wheel?
The
is
entire
correct.
field
That
of
is.
surveying
Level-
agrees
level
with the
does
level
follow
being a
the curve of
curve.
the earth. The
Name
level
one.
follows the curve of the earth. The horizontal does not.
Yeah, why don't you go and check that?
No,
All right,
that's what you're going to be doing.
Yep.
I have
you here. Go and
on-
do the test.
on my website, I have about 35 citations. mctoon.net/level from professional surveying textbooks that declares that level is a curve.
You know, I
So-
can read a textbook on how
yeah.
to rebuild an
So-
engine.
but-
Do you think
but
I could go
you-
out to a garage and do
But
it though?
but you were asking name one. I can give you 35 official citations, which is
What
better
would you
than
believe?
just one.
Would you believe all 35 citations, or if you went out and did it yourself?
I would
Wow.
believe
I
measurements.
have done it. I
Yeah,
have done it on Rainy Lake here in northern Minnesota.
George, we talked about you shot 6 miles across there, and you agreed with me you'd have to go in shorter increments to measure the actual shape of the ice. You can't
No,
take a
You
6-mile
don't.
shot.
No, I didn't go to the shape of the ice. I went to the water underneath the ice that establishes the
The
surface.
water underneath
What's
the ice.
underneath the ice?
Yeah, you drill a hole in the ice, you let the water come up in the hole of the ice, and you are guaranteed that that is the surface of the water. You don't go to
Yeah.
the ice because the ice can change. It
Yeah, it
has
shifts up and
various
down. I mean,
thicknesses throughout the lake.
Okay, so you
Bev,
measured- what did
Bev,
you
you've
measure
not-
that from?
Bev, you've
Where
not
did
walked
you
on
get the
a
measure
frozen
of the
lake,
water
have you?
from? Where did he measure the water from then? Was the distance from the water to where?
He's got
All
a
right,
couple videos.
We're
We can
we're
go
not.
over
Yeah,
them.
you go
No,
look
we
at
can
them.
go
Go look
over
at the
them
videos.
sometime. Okay.
So, all right, Sir
Go
Pick
over
a
that
Pup.
one of Jeff's as well, right?
Sir Pick
Yeah.
a Pup the Benevolent says for £5. Thank you very much. Have another £5 on one condition. Bev cannot use the word horizontal. The word is banned. All right, Bev, no more using the word horizontal.
Which word?
How much did he pay for that?
That was £5, so it's gone.
That
You
was
can't say it anymore.
Well wasted, that right?
What is that word on the board right there?
So,
The issue that we're
Oh
facing
yeah, it's on me board.
is the fact that Clary and Bev want to equate horizontal lines, a straight line, with level.
yeah, and they've not
Well,
established
Yeah,
any
yeah, that's
measurements
it.
for that
Level
yet. Yeah.
is a straight line on a horizontal plane. That's always been my claim from day one, George.
Yeah.
That's true for a flat surface, but not a curved surface.
Okay. Well, we just got to get out there and measure, right?
Yeah, I'm
right.
looking forward to
The
that.
surface changes what level is,
That is correct.
George. Yeah.
Level always follows a parallel to the surface, like a sphere. Level
No, it
follows
doesn't.
spherical.
A spirit
scales.
level doesn't care about what shape's underneath it.
That's right, and that's
George,
only
come
true at the
on.
point which you have the spirit level mounted.
Pardon?
Horizontal, as you
Yeah.
define it, is just a local concept. It
Yeah, it
changes.
doesn't bother with the surface
Horizontal
underneath it, does it?
changes for each point on the
Define
surface
local,
of a
George.
sphere.
Can you define local?
Yeah, level would be a point. All points level would be equidistance from the gravitational center.
A singular
the
point.
center
How
of
could
gravity.
you? How could you?
He's asking
establish
for the-
horizontal with a
he's asking
singular
for the-
point?
Yeah.
That singular point is level. Sorry, horizontal is the tangent to the surface of a sphere.
Yeah, that's
So
a
a
line, isn't it?
singular point has no.
Yeah.
A line, it's not a point.
Yeah.
Again,
Now, on a
Don't do
sphere,
your
a
test,
three-dimensional
please.
object.
go do your test.
Surface
Yeah.
of a sphere is a
This is-
three-dimensional.
This is like 8th grade math, maybe geometry type stuff, maybe high school. That
No,
that
I mean, this is
that,
new for
a-
you because this
a
adds an element of
surface
practical
a
into the
the
geometry.
listen up. The point tangent to a a point tangent to a surface.
Point tangent.
Oh my gosh.
A point.
The plane tangent to a surface is horizontal
Plane
for
tangent.
shut up, Bev. All right? The plane tangent to a surface of a
Tangent
sphere.
plane.
Bev, shut up.
That was Clary.
That wasn't me.
No, it wasn't clear.
That
it
was
me. I
Bev.
was just pointing out that you can't have
All right.
a plane that's tangent. You need a tangent plane. You're talking about, not a plane tangent to something.
Hey, Bev, please, let's stop with all these semantics and word games. Just go out and
All
do
right.
your test.
A plane tangent to the surface of a sphere is horizontal at that point only. It's only good for that point. Every other point has a different horizontal plane that's tangent to it on the surface of a sphere. So I don't care what your definition, what you really want it to be, and I understand, Bev, that you're really confused about this, that it doesn't
Bev
make
is
sense
muted
to you.
right now. He
Bev
can't
is
speak.
muted. Absolutely, Bev is muted. I'm tired of him interrupting me. Okay, so I will finish saying this, and then I'll unmute Bev, and he can then he can describe to us how he's confused about this. Okay, so there you go, Bev. Go ahead and explain how you are confused about this. You have to unmute yourself as well. There you go.
Thank you very much for unmuting me.
So this is Nathan Oakley show.
I was.
This
wanting-
is my show where he doesn't get to interrupt me constantly anymore.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bev.
Okay. So you're talking about a horizontal. Now, a horizontal is a line, a straight line. Yeah? And a straight line is defined as two extreme points. So not one point. That wouldn't make it a line. It would make it a point. So you can't have a line at a point. That's contradictory.
Bev, see,
It's
the point-
it's.
the-
Hold,
the
let,
issue
I
you're
can.
raising here, Bev, is that a straight line, when it touches the earth on one point, it only touches the earth at that point. It doesn't touch the earth's surface in more than one point. A straight line cannot do that. That's the geometry. On a flat surface, a line will touch an infinite number of points on a flat plane, but it only touches a sphere at one point. When you lay that line to touch the earth, it touches it only on one point and one point only. It doesn't continue along the surface of the earth touching
I know what a
multiple points.
tangent is.
That's the difference.
Yes, George. Yeah. Right. I know what a tangent is within geometry. Very true.
All right.
Okay.
That is what a
So-
tangent does.
is
So-
a straight
But
line. That's
wait a
your
minute.
straight line.
You don't think horizontal
this
is a
proposition.
tangent, do you?
Horizontal is tangent to a point.
Horizontal is a tangent at the point that tangent touches.
Horizontal
At
at
that
a point.
only.
Okay. We're going to go with proposition 18. This should be fun.
There you go.
I notice
So-
you've got that out there, right? Book 3 of Euclidean elements. Now, earlier on, the definition of perpendicular is already made. Right? It's two straight
Bev,
lines.
why do you play these games? It's a
It's not
simple
a game. I'm
concept.
just trying
You
to
have
catch
a
everybody
sphere.
up.
You
George,
have a
just pay
circle.
attention. Maybe you can learn.
I know this stuff.
Okay. So we're assuming that a horizontal is a tangent when you play in this particular proposition, aren't you? Because this is just pure geometry, circular geometry. Obviously, proposition 18 in book 3. So there's a bit of work that he's gone through before getting to this point. Okay. Now, what are we going to go with this one, Toons?
What's your point here? Well,
So-
I don't know.
what's
He's
Yeah.
got something up
So
on
here-
the screen.
So the line described as CG is tangent to the circle at point C.
one point only.
One point only for that tangent. Now that is on the surface of a sphere. This is obviously just two-dimensional. On a surface of a sphere, right? We extend that, so there is a point that is tangent to the surface of a sphere.
Can you
Sorry,
define
the
a
point. No, I'm not going to go back to
Do you want to
that
read
far
the
back.
proposition out
So-
that-
So
so everybody knows?
No, I want you to stop interrupting me. So on a surface of a sphere, the plane that is tangent to a point on the sphere, that would be
No, that's
the
not-
horizontal plane.
No, this isn't a sphere. This is book 3. This is just circle.
It's a
geometry.
cutaway of the sphere. My
Oh,
God.
No, it's
Dear.
a circle.
Yes,
It's
and
a
I
circle,
did.
but take a
I-
plane and cut a sphere through the center of the sphere. That's what you get.
Book
That's
11 is solid geometry.
Yes, yes.
It's
So
still
I-
establishing the
I
basics.
I made it very clear because I said these words when we extend it to a sphere.
You
Okay,
can't
so when-
extend
you
one
can't
proposition so early.
I'm sorry
onto
that
a
you don't
book So much
understand.
further on.
Yeah, I'm not talking about I'm talking about these
An
first
axiomatic
principles that you don't
system.
get. Yeah. So, all right.
First principles are way back
Yeah,
at the beginning.
that's
You've passed
exactly.
way
That's
past
what Cleary needs. That he doesn't know what a point is. Right?
Oh
So,
no, I think I do know what a point
You-
is.
you- yeah.
You guys don't realize what you're saying here. I think
all
it's
right.
funny.
So, I'll say it again, and I don't know why it's so hard for you to understand this. There is a plane tangent to a point on the surface of a
straight
sphere.
line touches a circle, and a straight line is joined from the center
Hey,
to the
Bev.
point of contact.
Hey, Bev.
The
Shut
straight
up,
line
Bev.
So joined,
Shut up, Bev.
will
Bev.
be
Shut up.
perpendicular to
Bev.
the
Shut up.
tangent.
Bev. Shut up. I'm talking.
Proposition 18.
Shut up, Bev. I'm talking. Okay?
You're going to give us your definition of what's going on here, right?
Yes. So this here is a two-dimensional. You extend it to 3 dimensions, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the last time I'll say it, and we're done with this topic. A plane that is tangent to the surface of a sphere is horizontal at that point only.
No,
every
not
other point,
horizontal, dude, no.
every other point on the surface of a sphere has a different horizontal plane. All right, we're done with this topic.
Definitely not a horizontal.
We're done with that topic.
Really
And
bad
I'm
use of
sorry.
Euclidean geometry.
I'm sorry that you don't understand it. It's not
Come
that
to MU
difficult.
UK
But
for better lessons.
yeah,
on
I don't know.
logic and
Nobody,
geometry.
none of you guys understand. You're all really struggling
You
with this stuff.
guys.
That's fine.
Hey,
So
McToon,
Yes.
Guys.
McToon, I've been through this before.
oh yes.
Having these guys, what
These
horizontal
guys
would
again?
be- yeah,
Like
you
what-
and Clary and the rest, is what horizontal to him would be is if you oriented that orange circle so that DE was horizontal to the horizontal on your screen. See,
Yeah,
it'd have to
they
be at
can't
the top
think in
of that
three
for them
dimensions,
To call
yeah.
it horizontal, the fact that it's tilted and shown at an angle.
Yeah, he
there
gets
with respect to
confused
our
about
horizontal,
that.
To them, that's not horizontal.
Oh, I see. So if it was rotated, then he would
Exactly.
get it.
Rotate
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
DE is
So
that-
the problem is that Bev cannot think in three dimensions and translate that to the hypothesis
You have
of a
it,
spherical
exactly.
Earth.
Yeah.
Yes, he starts with the required conclusion that the Earth is flat, or that horizontal is level, and then demands that everything fit that, and actually works on that presupposition all the time
been
for
down
everything
that road
constantly.
several
Yes.
times.
Well, I've been down that road with every flat earther I've ever debated. They start with the conclusion. So, all right, I'm going to keep moving on. Bev, I've unmuted you so you can talk now since the adults are done talking. So, God's Auditor for
Okay.
$5
Wait a
says,
minute, we can
Bev,
talk
I've
now.
been
Is
telling.
that WF.
No, I'm sorry. Bev seems to think he knows more about surveying than every single surveyor who has ever lived. He certainly does. I mixed up. That was Micro Raptor that said that. Yes. Of course he does, because he has a 2-year class and he took a test to get a certificate or something. So God's Auditor said, Bev, I've been telling you for months you need to move beyond 7th grade math. Math didn't stop with Euclid. Get some algebra. Get some calculus. So let me just show you here. I got and George, you maybe can appreciate this book. This is from my engineering class. It's got a good
all
thickness to
engineers
it.
Take a course like that called engineering mathematics. I had one
Absolutely,
on
that was
Wiley.
yeah. So this is Addison Wesley. This was my college level calculus class. Now, I did take calculus in high school, and then so I skipped the first calc class in college, and then went on to engineering math, or just E-math as everybody says. And
Yeah, that's
Here we
where
go.
engineers get their first exposure to things like Laplace transforms, Fourier analysis, partial differential equations, and things like that.
oh yeah. So all right. Well, Jess says Mike MC Toon's camera is also playing the drinking game. Yes. So there's a focus on there that's infrared, and then I have this plate that's in front of it. So I took it off so that it can focus. So I'm going to get a different camera, but I don't know which one to get. If you have ideas on a good camera that has a ring on it, you can send me a message. Bella Charge for 2 New Zealand says get into tolerance stacking. That will blow his mind. Ooh, I don't think I've been into that.
Don't know. I don't even know what it is. Tell him.
Yeah.
Go on.
George, have you done tolerance stacking?
No. But
Okay.
I've got something in the works you might be interested in.
Might it blow your mind?
I've worked out the mathematics for sag in a line, and I'm doing a video on that, the mathematics of that. And I've been talking to the owner of Finn's Fishing Line, and he's sending me about 1,000 feet of spectral line. His top of the grade fishing line, and I'm going to be setting up a horizontal tangent between the two ends of the line to see how the actual seg in a line agrees with the mathematics, and I'll be doing it for different tensions in the line and different line lengths.
Test.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
That's Ranty's test, right, George?
Well, I'm not. I mean, this is not for flat earthers.
Clary's
this is just
muted
to
as well.
show the agreement
for a
between
reason?
experiment and mathematical modeling.
All right. Ranty did have that test, though. Did you say you had it before him or not?
No, I
Clary
know
is
that this
muted,
is something that
Cruz,
Randy's
you know
been
that.
wanting to do, and Jaron and a bunch of others. And if you want to look at the mathematics, you'll see how it works, how to predict the seg in a line given a certain amount of tension in the line, in the length of the line.
All right. Horizontal, right? You say?
Yeah.
A horizontal between the 2 points. Between
Take
the
a
two
line,
ends.
take a line, take a cable, stretch it out. Say take 1,000 feet of line, stretch it out, put a certain tension in it. In the center, the line is going to sag. The mathematics that I've worked out will predict how much sag there will be at the center of the line, given the length of the line, the weight of the line per unit length, and the tension in the line. And I'm going to see
Line
how
only
it
sag.
conforms with actual field measurements.
Yeah. What's that got to do with the horizontal?
Has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with this. I was
You
just
did say
saying this is a
horizontal,
test.
didn't you?
There's
This has
people other
nothing
than
to
you in the
do
world,
with what
Bev.
you're doing. All
No,
I
he did
said,
say
all I'm
horizontal. I
doing
just
is
wondered what he was doing.
all I was doing was informing Mick Toon that I have a nice little video coming up where I'm going to do some field tests and see how it agrees with the mathematics. It has nothing to do with your test.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Promote it. Can we have a chat about that sometime then, George? So we haven't really gone over our test.
Or you
dear.
you wait and watch my video, and then
Yeah.
if you have comments, I'll be more than happy to answer.
There you go.
Okay, after the fact, right?
Well,
Yeah.
why not? What's the point in discussing it before the fact? Until I present the mathematics and actually make measurements out in the field. What's the point of doing it before then?
Well, it sounds like you've robbed it off Ranty. I'm sure that sounds exactly like what Ranty
Dear.
was
All right,
talking
let's
about.
let's move on, Bev. Come on. All right, Jess says, "Hey, Bev. Hey, Jess here. You're a flat earther." There you go.
Yeah, I've already said I'm not,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
well done. How much
So-
did
so
you
you
make
think-
from that?
So you think the Earth is a globe?
Sorry?
All right.
No,
you-
level is
UT
horizontal, you said, right?
UTB Doug for £5. Thank you very much for that. Says, instead of trying to get answers before the work is done, why doesn't Bev get the work done, then let them explain the work done and their findings? That's because they must be very careful that whatever they do, it concludes what they demand that it concludes. That's the requirement for flat earthers, is that all tests conclude what they need it to conclude.
Actually,
instead
what
of
we're doing is
letting
going
it
around.
go.
What we're doing is going around and talking to everyone and trying to make everyone understand what's going to be
consensus.
done, so that when it's done, we don't have to come back and redo everything like we're doing now.
Oh, good. I would love to see if you got an instrument that is accurate to whatever you
millimeter.
need.
Like, yeah,
but at a mile,
millimeter
at a
over
mile.
a 1 kilometer double.
Well, but
Oh,
you're
nice.
going to do a mile, right? So get one instrument to go the entire length of the mile, to be
No,
accurate
that's
enough
not how-
to do that.
That's not how you do differential leveling, right?
Well, you're not trying to do leveling; you're trying to do horizontaling. It's a different thing.
differential
yes.
leveling, right?
No, wrong. You're trying to do horizontaling. You're not trying to do leveling. Leveling is based on an elevation. Horizontal is not based on elevation.
24
It's based
millimeters
on-
and an inch. That's
So you're
pretty
saying on
accurate.
this on the basis of what? Sorry,
Yeah. So
that
all right,
differential
Jess,
leveling doesn't establish a horizontal, right?
correct.
You've just
differential
claimed that.
leveling. Differential leveling is not to establish a horizontal. It's to establish level, which is an elevation above sea level, and level is a
Yeah,
curve.
horizontal.
Level is
No,
a
no, it's
curve.
a horizontal.
Horizontal and level are different.
It's a vertical distance over a horizontal, right?
Yes. All right. So Jess, for $2, says hashtag Bev the Flat Earther.
Wow, dude, look, this is profitable for you.
we have-
not actually being a
we
flat
have-
earther, isn't it?
We have an alternative. Stringer News 1 has an alternative. He says,
Wow.
forget Flat Earther. Liar covers it as well. There
Lied
you
about
go.
what?
Wow.
Lying
Well, yeah.
about the shape of the Earth. That is what Flat
the
Earth is all
shape.
about. Yes. Sir Pick-a-Pup the Benevolent for £5. Bev, what does it mean when geodetic surveyors get a triangle with more than 180 degrees?
Well, if they'd be citing those lines, right, I'd say that they don't know geometry. Because triangles
No.
have 180 degrees, right?
Except on the surface of a sphere, they don't.
Bev,
Well,
do you want to
wouldn't be
show
able
'em?
to cite triangles and use tools, right, George?
Pardon? I was typing
You
something.
can-
What?
If you cite triangles with a theodolite, yeah, what would the internal angles of that triangle be?
Well, it depends over the distances that you do it. If you do over long distance on the surface of the Earth, they will something
citing-
greater than
you're
180
citing
degrees. But if
would
you
be-
do it over short distances, it'll be really close to 180.
Okay,
You
so
know,
let's
yeah,
say
it'll be
there's
within the
mountains,
margin of error.
and the tops of the mountains are 2 miles apart, all 3 of them, right? And we are going to cite from one mountain to the other top mountain, right? And then we're going to measure the angles. We're going to go to all 3
You need
mountains.
3, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and cite the angles, George. How
Okay.
many degrees in that triangle from cited points?
It'll be slightly more than 180 degrees if you use a precision theodolite.
Straight line triangle with more than 180 degrees.
Absolutely. That's how it works on the surface of a sphere.
Wow. You just said that, right?
I
A
did,
straight
absolutely.
line triangle with more than 180 degrees
That's
internal
right,
angles.
because you're making these measurements on the Earth, and the Earth is not a flat plane.
Okay, brilliant.
On a
But
flat plane, they
yeah,
will sum to 180 degrees precisely, but you're not on a flat plane. You're on a curved Earth.
geometrically, though, if you have a triangle, which is 3 angles, and an angle is the inclination of one straight line to another. So if you've got 3 angles, then you need 3 straight lines, which you have because you are citing these
Yes,
angles.
of course. This isn't... You don't need to tell us these things. We understand this already, Bev.
And you still think
Yes.
a triangle can have more than 180 degrees.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
This spherical trigonometry. I don't know if you've not heard of this. It's not new. It's been around for quite a while. On the surface of a sphere,
You're
every
reddening up.
triangle has more than 180 degrees and less than 540 degrees. That is spherical trigonometry.
Yeah, that's
So-
not a proper triangle, though, right?
That is
Again,
a
this is-
triangle on the surface of a sphere. It is a proper
That's
That's
triangle.
not
Yeah,
in
but just
Euclidean
like-
geometry, right? Which is what we use to define a triangle.
Do
This is you're confusing plane geometry with spherical geometry, just like the drop
Okay.
distance on the Earth.
Can
You
you
can
give
neglect
us a
it over short
definition?
distances.
Of a triangle within your spherical geometry. I don't
Oh,
want to
yes.
get confused. You don't want
Yeah,
anybody else getting confused, please.
No,
So
nobody else is confused. Just you, Bev. Just you. Well, I mean, maybe Cleary too, but Wolfram
you
Wolfram has a
definition
really
of
nice
an
one.
angle to a curve, then, right?
So
or an
I
angle
will-
between
I'll
2
put it-
curves,
I'll put it in the chat.
or like
and
playing
I will-
rectilinear angles,
I'll
inclination
put
of
it
one
on,
straight line
here.
or plane to another.
and I'll do this. Just a second, Bev. You're gonna see it in just a second.
Right. Okay. What's up,
oh,
George?
yeah.
What's George doing? Is he juggling?
No,
Oh.
I'm throwing the ball for Con.
Oh, right.
Come up here and played.
Let's see. I gotta get
Come on.
the right one. What's that clicking sound? Keep hearing the clicking sound. All right. So here you go. Spherical trigonometry.
Yeah.
So there you go. There it is. It's on the screen now. Read it. Feel free. I'm going to keep going with the super chats.
That's a spherical triangle, right?
Yes, absolutely. Shh. Listen, listen. All right. So Sir Pick-a-Pup the Benevolent, the answer to your what is a triangle with more than 180 degrees? It means that you are not on a flat surface. So there you go.
Toon,
Sleepy.
I think maybe a bit of confusion here where we can resolve it for everybody is, Bev, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle laid out on the sphere of the Earth or on the surface of the Earth will sum to greater than 180 degrees. But if you're going from mountaintop to mountaintop and you somehow had your surveyor set out a straight line from one top to the other and the other between all three tops, then yes, they will sum to 180 degrees.
Has Rumpus been calling you? Or who's just called you then to correct yourself?
No.
That isn't, you're going back on what you just said.
I was just thinking
before,
about what you were trying to say. McToon
straight
and I
line.
were talking about laying out straight lines on the surface of the Earth. A straight line on a curved spherical Earth are what we call geodesics.
It's not a straight line, is it,
Lay
George?
out a straight line between three points on the surface of the Earth. The interior angles will sum to greater than 180. But if you somehow could manage to set out three straight lines, not laid on the surface of the Earth, but in the air, as the way the crow flies, if you establish three straight lines, connected them together into a triangle, yes, they would sum to 180 degrees.
Okay.
So all right. We need to move on. No, Bev, I need you to be quiet, Bev. No, Bev, what? I don't see it. I need you to be quiet, Bev.
You don't see.
Yeah.
You want to look at that ball real quick right there?
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, those are curved lines, but we're talking about chords. Chords. What's a chord?
When we need to measure the angle.
All right.
Those angles that you have, those are geodesics on the surface.
You won't.
Those sum to more than 180 degrees.
George, I gotta move on. I wanted to be done 45 minutes ago, so I have to read the super chats. So Bev and Cleary, you can be quiet and listen. You're welcome to stay, but you're done talking because it's time for me to wrap this up. Okay. So Sleepy Dan says Bev is jelly of the supers. His scam is failing. Yes. Jess says FTFE couldn't be Batman because FTFE wears glasses. True. JL Warren, let's see, MC Toon, then what believe is justified by rejecting the heliocentric model? That's a great question. Bev, maybe you could think about this tonight. Why do you have to reject? Why is it so religiously important for you to reject all measurements? There's some faith in there that's troubling that you should maybe try to figure that out. Esteban Ilabaca says, Bev, level equals horizontal works only over a flat horizontal surface. Where it establishes that the concept of level can't apply, where is it established that the concept of level can't apply to any other surface? Level on the surface of a sphere is a curved surface. So just declaring and presupposing that the Earth is flat and then demanding everything match it isn't the way to be honest. Thus the liar comment from earlier. Stringer News 1 says, if you're going to appeal to authority, the one thing you must bring is an authority. So, yes. VII Play Games for 56 says, can't wait for this experiment to never happen. Globe deniers are all talk because they know they're wrong. Yes. And I know the game, it seems he kind of leaked the game that he's playing here. Bev is not going to hire a professional surveyor. He's going to use differential leveling techniques with his little $100 auto level to try and do it because he's got to make sure that it fits his conclusion. So he's not going to establish a horizontal plane. He's going to actually establish a curved surface through differential leveling. So, Digital Demonic Davros, ask Bev what a civil engineer does. He says civil engineering, that's Poe territory. Civils do surveying. Yes, they do. Let's see. Brainery. Here is some additional salt in the eyes of Bev and Cleary. Now, Cleary wasn't too upset by that. I think it's mostly Bev with his £100 auto level. So Stringer News 1 for $2 says I'm paying to not have this read. Oops, I read it. Kang024 says, why waste your time with Bev? He's just a dishonest northern, and then 4 words that 4 letters I'm not gonna spell out. But if you're in the super chat, if you're in the chat, you saw that. Brian J. Munro for 5 Canadian says, level as understood in construction is not the same as horizontal in geometry. That is correct.
Oh, God.
I know it's a comedy.
You get this one by Jess at the end. My
it's
God.
a comedy of errors. Okay,
cracking a gut.
Okay, Glober Mom says, Bev, yes, MC Toon is our super chat gigolo. I'm a terrible gigolo. I'm sorry. Basic trigonometry for £2 says, I'm paying you to say this. Sir Pick a Pup the Benevolent for £2 says, I'm paying you to not read this. Paying you not to read this. I didn't read it. I just said it. Kang024 says, Bev, all right, kid, calm down. Oh, no, claim down. This is claim down. Oh, sweet. UTB Doug for £5 says, Bev's getting mad at people paying to slag him off. It's beautiful. Oh, thanks, Bev. I'm glad to have you here for that. JL Warren says, Bev thinks a spirit level measures the altitude of ghosts. I don't know what that is. Oh, Jess for $2 says, Bev even interrupts Bev. True. Brian J. Monroe for 5 Canadian says, any line or plane that is described as horizontal can only be described as such in relationship to what it intersects. Horizontal is not a constant. Yeah, I keep trying to say that, and yeah, like George said, I think it's the orientation he got confused on. So, Robert Williams says, does Bev even know how large an arc second is? That'd be good, Bev. You could type that into the chat of the talk here. Do you know how large an arc second is? Sarcastic Barman for £5 is just a super chat, so Bev will ask how much money. MC Toon, I need to spread out my NASA shield check money anyway. Yes. Thank you for your NASA shield check money. Jeez. Digital Demonic Davros for 2 Australian says 25.4 millimeters is an inch, silly man. So. Mr. Unite for the Children says, let's see. Says $5 to MC Toon just to make Bev jealous and whine like Gollum again. So you're unmuted, or you can unmute. There you go. You can whine like Gollum for them. Jess for $5. Bev's brain has been practicing social distancing from his head for quite a while now.
That's what I was laughing at. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Coming from you, George, that's funny, right?
Sir Pick a Pup the Benevolent for £2 says, Bev, I don't think your whiteboard is level. It does look a little unlevel, Bev.
Might be the camera, right? You never
I don't know. It's tough. And Stringer News 1 for $2 says, Bev may not be on the level. And that is it. Stop the super chats, people.
Live. Get on it, people.
George, I got this book last night from Charlie Duke, the 10th Man on the Moon, signed right there. Now this was like he pre-signed a bunch of these, but I printed out this one myself right here, and he signed it right there. Let me see if I can get it viewable. There it is. Love it. So,
wow.
Charlie Duke on the moon surface there. That was pretty cool. Great to meet him.
Suggestion moving forward, McToon.
Yes.
I don't think we should be discussing this water level test anymore until it's
No,
conducted.
do the test, Bev. Then we'll have a look.
Oh, so yes, let's stop talking about it, right? It's embarrassing
That's
for
right.
you.
We want to see some action.
It
Enough
can't
of
be
the
embarrassing until there's measurements. You have no
Yeah, we
measurements
just work
yet,
with
Bev.
through the basic
Nothing.
geometry and logic with people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Some
guess
people are
is you're going to
scared.
use differential leveling techniques and then declare that differential leveling
gonna
techniques
get surveyors to
describe a
do it.
horizontal.
We're gonna
That's
get-
exactly right. Differential leveling is horizontal. You
Def-
think it's
it
something
is-
else?
Ask the surveyors, is differential leveling establishing a horizontal or is it establishing a level? And they'll tell you there's a difference.
It's
They'll say
establishing
it's both.
a horizontal.
It's the same thing.
So ask them. You are declaring it to be the same thing. And every surveyor I've ever talked to says they are different, including all of the surveying texts. So
I know
there you go.
I think we've about done talking about it with people that are ignorant of the
knowledgeable
geometry
on
involved.
knowledgeable on these things. I know.
Toon, have
So,
you talked to anyone other than Maine Surveyor, Jesse, or Larry? Any other surveyors besides them?
I have referenced 35 different texts on it. Yeah,
How about
exactly.
human voices? Have you talked to any other surveyors
So
besides
so
those
so
three?
only three is all I need to do, or you
Only
don't
they're all
He's
three
asking you.
globe lovers, though.
yeah.
But Clary and Bev, why is it necessary to talk this thing to death? Just go out and do the
Go
test.
do it. Yeah.
To
It's
establish
even
that
Connery.
level is horizontal, right? This is why he's just asked you, how many other surveyors have you talked to? It's
Three's
really easy
three's
to
a pretty
ask
good
a
number.
surveyor, right?
But they're all the three globe lovers, the three defenders, the ones who were out
All-
with Soundly.
All
Yeah, the ones that have run away from talking
well,
about this.
I'm quite certain that the main surveyor was not anywhere with Soundly ever,
He hangs out with Jesse quite a bit.
but he was not with Soundly.
I don't know.
I
I don't
do.
have like a tracker on him.
He wasn't on the scene when Soundly retired from it, so they don't even have an
Soundly
overlap on the
retired?
scene.
Soundly came by the other
Soundly
day.
retired.
I don't think he retired.
What did
So
he retire
glass
from doing?
glass monster for $2 says the Flurf hasn't got a brain.
I'm a
Who's he
bad mother
talking about
fluffer.
there?
I'm sorry for that.
Who's he talking about?
The Flurf.
Yeah, which one's that? Who is that?
Georgia.
Whoever might-
Georgia
Do you
flirt.
have a pet?
Whoever might be the Flurf. So anyway,
I
that's
think George is a flirt.
that's
George. I
that's
think
the
it's
time.
George too.
I'm pretty sure George is not a Flurf, but I need to get going. I've got to take a Riley, and it's almost time for dinner. So I've got later today at 10 p.m. Central Time. I do not have anything at 8, but at 10 p.m. Central Time, I've got a debate on 5G with Dion Smo, who is going to tell us all sorts of information.
You're not giving
Not-
any
not at
shout
all,
outs
so-
to anybody? Or do we have to
would
do
you
that
like to-
ourselves?
Would you like to? Go ahead.
Okay, we'll give a shout out to Emma UK on Discord. Anybody want to come over, have a chat? We're all welcome to come and learn a bit about the water level test and everything. I've got a channel, Try Thinking, where we discuss these sort of things, basic logic, basic geometry. Just talk basically.
All right, Cleary.
Theory.
Oh yeah. We're just hanging around Cleary channel. I'm out there. We're out there doing our thing. So yeah, anything you need, come by. We'll talk anytime.
George,
He's muted.
got any
I think he
any
said-
shout outs?
He said level is horizontal.
Yeah, yeah. He's muted.
I
but I'll
doubt that.
speak
George,
for him.
you're
Lip read.
muted.
Level is, I was wrong all along. Level's horizontal, right?
All right, George.
No, I was just typing in chat. Enough of this talk already. Just go out and do the test, for crying out loud. You can talk. This has been talked to death enough.
It's great. I love it, George.
All right,
fun.
everybody. Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for all the super chats because it really tans Bev's hide.
Coming over. I'm not bothered about you. That's great. You make loads of money from it. Right? Come over to Emmy UK. We're going to carry on over there, no doubt. All right. Peace out.
I'm here. No, I'll bail. Have a good one. We can always talk. You guys have a good one. We can always talk. You guys have a good one.